Okay, welcome guys. This is episode something or other. I forget what it is again. I keep trying to remember what episode it actually is, but it's less than 10, I think. Hi Silvercall, hi CB, however anybody else has joined us as well. Sorry about the late start. I had another stream that I had to do at the normal time, so I thought I'd just put it back a few hours and then sort of do it at this time. So 3 hours later. It may suit some of you, may not suit some of you as well. I'm not sure. Sometimes it doesn't suit me to do this time, but usually on this day, which is normally Monday for most of you, I think it's Tuesday morning for me. But it is usually a nice time for me to be able to. I've got a fairly open Tuesday. I don't go to the beach on Tuesdays, for example. Hi, Chond and Janison and Bob Rupert. Actually, I should find out when the best time is for you guys, really. I do have a bit of leeway. I mean, it may change in the future, of course. Anyway, there's a massive amount of stuff coming this week. So in terms of gaming news, and God, I don't even know where to start. Like I've got a whole big long list of embargoes that I've got to be careful of. Little things like as well, like Stardock actually gave me the new version of Fences, so I did want to sort of mention that as well as to thank them for that, because I use, this is what my screen is, I use Fences all the time, and I did want to sort of, and I had a look actually, I had to contact them because I thought, it's 60% off, and it was because if you've already got a current Steam version of Fences, there is a 60% off at this sale at this point in time to actually then pick up Fences 5. Now, is it worth upgrading from 4 to 5? Look into it, because there may not be enough changes there to sort of make it worth your while, but of course you then get all the support and the extra things that then sort of come along with it as well. So I did want to sort of have a look at that as well. Hi Eddie, how you going? And Urasok saying Monday in Alaska. There we are. Yeah. Still for a long time, I think, in Alaska, but no, it's the sun's up here on Tuesday morning where I am, which is it's a nice day. It was actually raining when I first got up, but it's blue skies all the way through now, which is great. We've had so much rain where we are. Anyway, let's just get started. I'll try to. I really don't know which way we're going to go with this. There's so many games launching this week, or not just games, but there's updates. There's been massive updates for Distant Worlds. I do want to talk about that one. Massive updates coming out. Was just come out today actually for Xenonauts 2. So I do want to actually. I was going to do a special video on that one, and Hooded Horse have given me some save files so I can actually show off some of the new things, which I will do in this episode. I may still make a dedicated video on that one. Hi Bubo and Matthew. Hope you guys are doing well. I think we'll start off with Distant Worlds, and then we'll work our way through, but also things that I really want to try to get to. Terminator is coming this week. Well, at least I'm allowed to show it in a day or so. Actually, I think I can show it no, Xenonauts I can show today. I'm just looking at my little list off to the side there. I've got Terminator I can show tomorrow. Solium Infernum I can show in 3 or 4 days' time. Then Age of Wonders I can show in a week's time. So things are sort of coming up. I've got all these different embargoes at the moment. I've never had so many embargoes. Then I've got other games also under embargo following on from that as well. So Chonda's saying I have Fences, but I don't know how I can have those icons for the resolution. As in these icons, these are just standard icons. I've got my screen set. I run it at 1080p for when I'm doing recordings, because that way any of the user interface will then show up nice and cleanly. So we've got Silvercall saying mildly tipsy and lamenting the death of Bazball. Oh, that's a shame. It was. Is it the death of Bazball, or was it just one little hiccup in the road? I don't know. I like the idea of Bazball, I've got to say. If you don't know what we're talking about, if you're from England, Australia, New Zealand, South Africa, I guess you sort of know about it. India would know about it. So if you're watching from those countries, any of the cricket-playing countries, you'll know what Bazball is. If you're not from there, it's a style of play that England adopted because they weren't winning very many matches, and it's an extremely aggressive style of and entertaining style of gameplay in cricket. In the test match goes for 5 days, so it's one of these things where traditionally you've had to play very safe to sort of stay in for any length of time, and it's like a gambling thing where you're just gambling that you're going to make enough runs before you get out. In this sense, when you're playing Bazball style, just by playing super aggressively, and other countries have done that in the past. They just haven't named it anything. Like I know that Sri Lanka used to do it because they like Sri Lanka doesn't have this the level of teams that the other countries have, and so Sri Lanka had a format where I think the top 2 or 3 batsmen that would go in would play the baseball style, which is basically just smack everything as much as you possibly can. If you can make a massive amount of runs from the first 2 or 3 players, then the others can then just play normally anyway. So, and if they'd fail, then they were likely to going to win anyway. They're likely going to lose anyway at that stage. So it gives them the best chance of winning. And so England adopted this as well. And Baz is the nickname of their coach, who is from New Zealand, who was an incredible player, like incredibly great player. Actually, he's only just retired recently. Anyway, I won't spend too much time, but that is it's not the death of baseball. I think that if England get good enough at their basic gameplay, they won't have to play that way. But they're not. They're sort of like they're using baseball for intimidation, and at this stage they have to. I think personally, I don't think England's good enough skill wise to not play baseball. But I think that will change. They're certainly their confidence is getting better, which will then lead to better, safer gameplay, which means they won't have to play that way. If that makes any sort of sense. I don't know if it's insulting to English people or not, but I love that they did it. I think it really made the game so much more interesting. So So anyway, I don't think it's a death of it. I hope not. So Bob Rupert's saying, like the hurry up offence in football. Yeah, I don't know about that one. You mean soccer? Anyway, it's just an all out, and it's very, very entertaining. So hi Battle Mode, how you going? And hi Mike. CB saying loving the new Shadow Empire series from Battle Mode. Yeah, I saw that there's some videos going up with Battle Mode at the moment. I think up episode 3. I think I saw on YouTube up on my list today. Sticky Wicket saying other than Anderson, England won't have any world-class bowlers. Rely on their batters scoring 500, and that's only going to work if they can intimidate the other teams. It's interesting. I love cricket. I love watching it. I didn't get to watch much of the India series that England was playing, though we had a series, the Australian women's team was playing South Africa, and that was actually really entertaining. I don't mind male or female cricket, so I enjoy. I know that some people don't like watching the female side because they don't think the skill level's there, but I think it was South Africa's only sort of developing with their female side, with their women's side, and but it was good. The Australia did dominate, but it was still interesting. I like to sort of, I don't know, I like cricket. I enjoy watching it. I turn it on and fall asleep, basically. It's how I sleep during the day. Anyway, let's get back to the gaming. We've got a lot to talk about. Distant Worlds, let's go and start there. I want to start, first of all, off in Steam and go through the bits and pieces in Steam. I'll show you, like I've got this set at a bigger size so you can sort of see what's going on, and then I'll flick across to my own Steam area. I'll just go into Distant Worlds too. A few little things I did want to talk about here because I think it's going to be a bit confusing for some people with Distant Worlds. If we go across to the community hub, and it says like the song and dance is about the Stellar update, and that's actually what they're sort of pushing. So the Stellar update is out now. Now this came out a week ago, basically, or about a week ago, and but I haven't been playing the game until the last few days because the most exciting thing is actually just happening now. Sorry, the sun is now going to be hitting my my green screen, so it's going to be it's no longer going to be a green screen. It's going to be a white screen, which will then start to show through, which is what that shimmering is on that side. There's a window just behind where that one actually is. I don't normally stream at this side at this time. It'll take about another 20 minutes or so before the sun disappears behind it. Okay, so anyway, this one goes through, this is a completely free update to address the stability issues, significantly reducing crashes, etc., etc. So they had enhanced guided ship design, so you can sort of do more. There's certainly a lot more, but this has been part of the open beta for months. So most of this stuff has sort of been around for a long period of time, which has been quite nice actually, charting a clear path, etc., etc. And so that is, so even though this was the big new update that has come out for the game, if you're playing the open beta, and I would suggest that it's probably better to actually play it that way, it really is something that's like the open beta has always got great content in it. It always is coming up, and God, that light is going to be. I'm sort of looking across at the mini screen. That's just to make sure that the recording's on. And that, yeah, so sorry about the green screen. Anyway, not that we need it for anything in particular. So anyway, this is a big thing anyway. So stellar update, but this is all the song and dance. But for me, the biggest thing, and the thing that is really, really cool and good fun, is that in the open beta, they've now fleshed out the not just the humans and mortals, but also some of the governments as well. And so now we've got some really unusual, and I don't know if it was even mentioned in here. I hope it is, because let's go back to discussions. So yeah, 1.2.08 public beta available. This is really, really big. And so this came out a couple of days ago. So it tells you how to do it. I'll show you how to do that as well, because this is worth getting. So there's now, it's funny because I go through the fixed crashes. This is not important. This is not important. So yeah, this is user interface improvements. This is massive. Where the borders of two empires meet, we've added a more visible border in the galaxy view to help make it easier to distinguish their territories. Character traits or skills added through the game events now also add event log entries for characters, so prove yourself the mortal event, things like this. Now the faction and government refresh. So this update includes a refresh of the human and mortal and base game factions, as well as all the base game government types. A summary of changes is below, but for the full information, please read through the in-game faction and government descriptions carefully. There are also new event illustrations, loading screens to go along with these changes. So these are the human faction changes, so slightly more aggressive, slightly better continental suitability, new worlds. When you colonize or conquer a continental planet, you obtain a free random colonization tech advance. This is really cool. This is going to change the way that people actually play with the humans. It's going to make them much more fun to play with. Great art exposition. So when you sign a free trade agreement or build a new resort base, obtain a 2-year boost to trade and tourism income throughout your empire, along with a boost to colony income and tourism for the colony where the great art exposition is held. Cannot trigger more than once every 5 years. And hero of the hour, when war is declared, you choose either a new admiral or a new general with 2 positive traits. Internal debates, when you sign a new defence treaty, obtain a capable new ambassador, but also a 2-year decrease in colony happiness throughout the empire, which is what that means is that the government, because the governments on human worlds tend to be like representative governments, like you've got democracies or republics or something like this, what you're going to end up is when you do to sign a new defence treaty with some aliens, there's going to be a xenophobic faction that will then sort of argue against it. And so that just means a 2-year decrease in colony happiness, which is actually important because colony happiness equals money. So the happier your population is, the more money you get. Heightened security. So when a foreign intelligence mission against you succeeds but is detected, you may choose to send a spy to gain a 2-year plus 20% boost to counter espionage, along with a small decrease to colony happiness throughout your empire. So again, the empire knows about it, so they're unhappy, but you get to fight back against the spies. Larger carriers, so all carrier ship hulls of plus 50 size. That's going to then change very dramatically from when you go from into like the mid-game into the mid-late game to you'll flick from essentially destroyers and battleships into carriers, I would think, with that particular. So you may have to sort of plan a little bit towards that, which is interesting. Again, I'm really interested in what's going on through there. A whole lot of different character traits in through there. So this is great. Like, this is not just good, this is great stuff. And it's really interesting to play as these. So the mortal and faction changes, so improved armor research, improved ship maneuvering and troop recovery, improved troop experience gain, warrior wave. When you declare war, obtain a 2-year boost to mortal and population growth, along with your choice of either a large troop recruitment rate boost or a troop attack strength boost. So if you are ready to attack and to assault, and I'll open up a game actually where I'm in this position right now, where a war is just finished, but if we declare war, that will then give me a big troop attack strength, which I can then go in and take over worlds with that. Patriotic wave. When war is declared, you obtain a 2-year boost to mortal and population growth, along with your choice of either colony corruption reduction or war weariness reduction as well. So this is a cool one as well. So if you're being dogpiled on, which can happen, particularly if you're surrounded by Boscarans and other insectoids and things, you can find that there'll be war after war after war declared on you, and sometimes it's very hard to get on top of the war weariness. This one allows you to essentially get rid of that one, or get rid of the corruption on your worlds, which also then means more money. So you're then going to have more disposable income. Then know your enemy. When you invade or conquer an enemy world, choose a 2-year boost to either espionage or counter-espionage, or to targeting and countermeasures. Prove yourself, so periodically choose between 2 characters from leaders, admirals, and generals to undergo a trial by arms. If successful, the selected, and it's probable, the selected character will gain a positive trait, otherwise it's a negative trait. So more often than not, it will be a successful trait. You've got reinforced hulls, so we end up with 1 extra reactive armor, which sort of means if you're fighting against the Mortallans, you may want to avoid using railguns until you get to the bigger railguns, I think. So that's actually one aspect of doing that one. And this is, again, where the game, I don't know why it's got such a low rating. Like, it's not a poor rating by any stretch, but this is a great game. This is one of the greatest games out of the last few years, in my opinion. Very, very few games get to anywhere close to being as good as this game. And these changes just make it so much better, because everything is so unique in the game itself. New unique leaders in through here as well, blah, blah, blah. Now, this is interesting as well. This combined with these sorts of changes makes it so replayable. Just so replayable. It's unbelievable. So there's been little changes, like republics just gain a little bit of income. Democracy gains a 10% positive boost. You don't see much with these sorts of things. Feudalism is really, really cool. This is the one I'm playing is, I'll show you this in action. But private economy can now build individual feudal escorts for its own escort missions, and upgraded planetary militia fights like infantry without upgrades. So troop recruitment rate is ×2 for 2 years with war declaration, and troops gain experience 25% faster. So this feudalism now feels like feudalism. It feels like you've got all of these feudal lords that are sort of semi-autonomous, doing their own thing. And it really feels good in the game. Like, it's sort of like you don't have control over the feudal escorts, but you've got all these little escorts all over the place, just attacking things, and not attacking things that you're not at war with, but they're off protecting their assets, and it really feels great. I never bothered playing with feudalism, but I've got to say, with this change, it's one of my favourite government types now. Mercantile guilds, so control mining ships as if state ships. Gain 1,000, 3,000, 5,000 trade income per year for each active trade treaty. Now, the controlling mining ships was always there, so I don't know why they're saying that's now new, because that was always there for the mercantile guilds. Military dictatorship, so high troop presence reduces colony unhappiness by up to 5. Declare a war world where troop recruitment, ship construction, facility construction goes at double rate. At any planet spaceport for a 20,000 credit and a happiness cost for 2 years. So that will allow you to ramp up for fights. And so again, that's military dictatorship. Monarchy is another really interesting one in terms of just the idea of having a monarchy. So monarchy, one ship can be designated a flagship, where it gets plus 10% targeting and countermeasures, plus 10% manoeuvring and speed, and plus 10% damage control. So it's got more survivability. If the flagship destroys an enemy ship of the same size or larger, generate plus happiness empire-wide event. If flagship is destroyed, generate a negative happiness empire-wide event. So all wars are considered justified for war weariness purposes. So you think of the old, even back in the old monarchy days, the 1600s and things, with the ships that were built. It's the same sort of deal, like where you got these big flagships which are just so important. Technocracy, increased character quality by plus 20% for all types, increased character recruitment chance of plus 40% for all types as well. That's interesting, because that was a bit weak, actually, and hive mind. So this is really cool as well. So jump accuracy bonus at friendly locations doubled. So population growth rate of 1.5 times 1.5 while at war. So again, thinking in terms of the Boscara, which make heavy use of hive mind, that's a really, really cool addition. That jump accuracy means it's going to be able to jump almost in on top of other units and other. It won't have to come in and there'll be a lot less warning if they basically, the jump accuracy bonus is, I think if it's from the friendly location, not going to the friendly location. So I think if they start off at one of their worlds and can jump to wherever they need to go and do some fighting, they'll start off, and I haven't tested this, but they should start off right in the very, very middle of it. So automated fleets now check distance of fleet from target from fleet to home base when evaluating with a break off an attack. Fleet may be outside normal engagement area. That's cool. Raids, so fixed tech bonus from raids, sometimes giving negative progress in current research project. That's good. And you forgot that raids gave you tech bonuses. That's actually fairly useful. Colonization, so fixed colony ships sometimes repeatedly loading and unloading population. When only, yeah, that's okay. That's nothing much in through there. Nothing much in through there. Modding support. Okay, so that's, for me, that's so much bigger than the free update. Like this is, but you only get this through the public beta. Now, to turn that one on, let's just go through. I'll show you how to do that. This is my actual Steam. The other one is just Steam on the computer. All right, so if we just go across, I'll just click on Distant Worlds just so it comes up in through here. And you can see I've got the little, in the square brackets, it just says beta. But just go into the game in your library. So open up the library, go to Distant Worlds, go to Properties, go to Betas, and you'll have one just called Beta, and then whatever the current number is. So just select that one, and it'll just keep up to date with the betas as they go through. Once you do that, the game will then update, and you'll then have access to all of those wonderful things, unless you actually have in the workshop. There's 2 mods that you want to avoid. Actually, no, one. There's only one mod now that you want to avoid, and that mod is which one is it? Because this will not bring in the new stuff. So if we just go across, I'll just go down and open up all of them. See if I can find it. I think that one's okay. Flags. It doesn't feel like it makes a lot of sense. But if you use the refresh flags, which looks really, really cool, like a really cool mod, it looks so much cleaner than the actual base game itself. And there's heaps more of them, by the way, as well. So I can't wait to be able to use these. These look great, but until it goes to version 1. I don't know, it's not going to show that one, I don't think. Until it goes to the next version up, and it may be there already. You know, the initial release was before the beta release. And so what happens now with this one here, the flags are tied in with the governments and also tied in with the factions. And so it has to override the existing factions, which means you don't get the new stuff. So until this is updated, it's not safe to use this. But they do look great, but they're not safe to use yet. So when that one does come through, yeah, and it's early days yet, but that will be updated. There was another one that was also causing problems. I think it tells you in here, actually. Yeah, so it goes through, in order to get the AI empires to use new flags, I do have to edit the various races.xmls, which essentially means it's overridden until this one uses the new ones and then has the updates applied to it. So this means this mod is incompatible with any other mods that edit the different races. Well, it's also incompatible with the beta update at this point in time until that one's fixed. I thought I'd flag that because you may have that one installed and then think, oh, why isn't it working? Now, there was another one as well, I think by the same modder, actually. That's refreshed flags. There was another one no, it wasn't. It was a different one. This was a different one as well. So some of these mods affect the actual empires themselves. And so you do have to be a bit careful. Oh, God, which one is it? It's a good one, actually. Realistic Empire names. This one has just been updated actually to make it actually work with the game. And so this one is updated for beta 1.2.08. So this is important because this one also updates some of those other changes. So it sort of overrides some of the other bits and pieces. So so it was also, it was just getting in the way of what was actually happening in through there. So, anyway, that's I thought I'd just mention those just in case you got those sort of mods running. But this one is now safe, but it's that got updated the same day that the beta got released. Okay, well that's sort of Distant Worlds 2. I might just show what the game has got at this stage because again, you know, the proof is in the eating. So let's load it in and have a bit of a look. Now some of the games coming up I'm not allowed to show. That light is still very bright on my. It's the sun is dropping a little bit. Probably be another 10 minutes before it should then be gone, I think. Okay, here we go. So this is using version 1.2.0.8, and I have been streaming this on Twitch, and I'll continue streaming this actually tomorrow as well. So if you want to join me on Twitch, I'll be playing some more of this. If we just go and continue the game, I've played for a couple of sessions. The last session was really cool. I've got to say there was the session before the Harkonish had actually taken one of our planets. And in the last session, we had to build up enough to be able to then take it back off them. And there is some annoyances, which I have actually reported. Like one of the problems is that the AI is much more effective if it's got heaps and heaps of different ships, different fleets. And so they use heaps of fleets, and it's very hard. Actually, one person had written a comment that was like playing whack-a-mole, and it is like you're basically just going after them all the time because there's just so many of them. Now, the war is just finished in through here, so we're no longer at war. Our war weariness is set at 5. This is one of these things we're playing as the Mortallans, so if we did actually declare war right now, the war weariness, we would actually get a boost to bring that one back. But if we have a look at the Harkonish, who we've been at war with, their war weariness is serious at -19. So they were the ones who, now it says we've recently ended a war with this faction. So declaring a war on this faction now would severely damage our reputation. So we may want to sort of, like, our reputation is pretty good at this point in time, and that's going to make it so that we'd probably be more likely to then have other attacks coming in from other people. So we don't want to do that one. But look at the borders. That looks awesome. So we've now got solid borders, so we can actually now see, basically we can now really pick the difference between them. It may be hard with, like, if we got two really dark colours, like the reds. The red isn't really all that bright with the Boscara, but it's very cool what does, the way that actually sort of does work. The actual, the Mortallans themselves. I won't go through all the different changes in through here, but it's just it. Actually, I'll see if I can find, excuse me, some of the other ships. They're our own fleets. Yeah, there we go. This little ship in here, this is a ship that's taken some damage from somewhere, and it's coming back home to repair at the Numeral Bay 2 spaceport. These got a little star next to them, so this is under feudal control. We can't change that. This is just, this is a privately run ship. So this is the Fire of Arantru is actually now under feudal control, and so the feudal ships, we'll see them all over the place. They will be sort of off, in all areas of the empire, as long as they've got enough to be able to then go and do it. Just see if I can find another one. They are around. I just can't spot them. They'll. I saw that one. There should be a lot of them actually. Not sure how we find them either. Civilian ships maybe. Yeah, it's hard to sort of see. It'd be under all the ships. Just all the cargo ships and things. Not sure where they would keep the feudal ships. It's a one-off just for the feudal faction. No, that's all just not seeing feudal ships in that group. Freighters, passenger ships, resort bases. No, that's not it. So it must be under here. No, even they're not listed there either. Anyway, I'm not sure where they actually do get listed in the game. Haven't looked for that one before. There's another feudal control. So they just take whatever your best escort is. So we've got that one through there. So Radigar saying, I saw today why they have so many fleets all over the place. I got an ally that shared operation map during peacetime, and they had a defence fleet stationed on every Caslon mining station. Wow. Okay, so Dom UK saying, nice to see the sun. We've missed it in the UK. We have here too, actually. It's been really hot, but it's been very humid. Mike saying, I've been enjoying Distant Worlds 2, but need the time to play Keeper RL 2. Yeah, Keeper RL's just come out as well. Can't wait for the new Age of Wonders 4 DLC next week. Absolutely. And it is really, really good as well. I'm not allowed to really talk about it, but I am super impressed. I can't wait to be able to show that one off. Korosami is saying, hi, Daz, in chat, and saying Solium Infernum looks like it could be fun. Yeah, that's really, again, I can't wait to show that off. I've got 3 days before I'm allowed to show that. I have been playing it, and I love it. So I did have one big crash with it, which I did report. I haven't seen an update since I did report the crash, but that was, I think it was related to my, I've got AMD graphics drivers. I haven't had one since, and I have played it fairly. I've tried to make it crash, but it was the most catastrophic crash I think I've ever had with a game. Like, it actually changed the settings of my cards and stuff like that. So just like at this stage, I'm a little bit wary of if that happens again, because that was not an easy fix to get my computer back up and running properly again and that was just the game crashing. Which wasn't good. So I hope that whatever it is, that they fix that one up. But I'm pretty sure it's related to the AMD graphics cards, along with Solium Infernum as well. So Spark's saying, definitely played a lot during the free weekend. A lot of potential, but a lot of things that won't be that need to be worked on. There's, to be honest, what I'm finding is this. I love the changes that they've made from the original. Like, it's. Well, I've gone back and tried the original since the new one has been coming out, and the original does have some extra things that the new one doesn't have, as in, you can build your own sort of arc fiends, where you can't do that in the new one, just because of the graphics essentially. But the other things, it's much less random in the new version of the game, which is actually really cool, because it plays very much like Diplomacy, if you know that board game. It's almost like it combined the original Solium Infernum to a large degree with Diplomacy, with the board game Diplomacy, and so it's so diplomatic. And one of the things that the devs have said is that really it's going to be one of these games where you won't really get the full experience until you play it multiplayer. And they've sort of said that, the devs have sort of said that is so cool to play Solium Infernum as a multiplayer game, and I can see that even more so than Dominions. I think it's going to be a bigger and richer experience than Dominions as a multiplayer game, and that's really saying something, because it's all about the diplomacy. And so it's going to be fascinating, and there's so many different ways of actually winning in Solium Infernum as well. Like, it's not just a battle game. It's not. Combat is very, very secondary to the to all the subterfuge and the diplomacy that goes on in the game. And normally I don't like games that have a lot of subterfuge, but it's just done so damn well. It really is incredible. So Spark is saying, so why do graphics interfere with custom arc fiends? It basically, like, they've set them up like in the original game. I can fire the original game up, actually. Let's go and do that. So I'm not allowed to show the new game. And it's funny, you can't even see. So this is the original Solium Infernum. You can't even get it anymore. So here we go, Solium Infernum. From back in the early 2000s. I think it was early 2000s. It did have multiplayer back then. So this is the avatar. So create and edit an avatar. So you can go into here, and so you can actually go and create a new avatar. And so you did actually have the different forms, but you would then sort of be able to build all of your aspects, so you'd have the different sorts of, you would have these. I think you could actually upload as well, like if you wanted to sort of have something else in there as well. But these weren't animated or anything like that. So you could still build over the top of one of them, but this one gave you like complete. You had like the ranks. It had very much the same sort of feel as what the new one has, and I'm not allowed to show the new one, unfortunately. So not until a few days' time. But this has got like fiend points remaining, so you could sort of. And I think by stopping you from building your own, it does two things. It allows them to control the game a little bit better, but also it means that someone's not going to come in with something wildly, crazily strong if you are playing multiplayer. So it's going to completely unbalance the game to allow people to go and do it. I'll just go and cancel that. But that's essentially, you've got all these different perks and things as well. And so these have got, there's aspects in here where they've got the different sorts of perks with different points that then do come in. So they had perks. They no longer have perks. So perks have gone. This is still in the game. Like going from Lord of Hell, Baron, Marquis, Duke and Prince. That's actually still in the new game. Public objective category. This is handled differently and better in the new game. This is much cooler. So in through here, these are handled differently again as well within the system that the game has actually then got. So it actually has like a different way of doing the points. And again, I prefer the new game than the old game. But the perks are different because in the new game they've got a whole new mechanic to do with the perks, which is to do, you've got rings, you've got crowns, and you've got brooches, I think. And the combination of those is how you then get your mix and match when you actually go into play a game. I wish I could show it, because that does as much as what this does with creating like this is very open with whatever you want to do in the game, but it's not very balanced. Whereas what they've done with their new approach is still give you agency and opportunity to chop and change and really make it play your way, but without making a whole new, completely unbalanced way of playing. So it's very cool. It's one of these things that's going to be easy-ish to pick up for a new player, and really exciting for somebody who gets to know the game, to know how to get the combination of the extra assets to actually then change the way that you actually approach the game and win the game. So again, I'm not supposed to really talk much about the game, or I'm not allowed to show the game. But I can talk about it in terms of, because I can talk about what we've seen, and it's certainly interesting to see what they've done that's different. And I was a little bit concerned when I first started playing, when I went back to playing this one, because am I allowed to talk about this? Yeah, I will talk about it. Damn it, I'll still talk about it. When I was playing the first demos, and so all the different demos have cut down versions of the game where you don't get a lot that you can actually do with choice in the actual game itself. Like you got limited avatars or arc fiends that you can then sort of make use of. But you also then have, so it felt limited, and it was limited. It was a demo. And so when you come back and play like the actual game in through here, if I just go back and play like a normal game, just go into a new game in through here. So you do actually have the map sizes. Now this is the same in the new game. So you've got like the map sizes. You've got, these are also the same as in the new game. I don't know if they've got 4, I think I may have 3. Anyway, you've got these, and this is sort of like the map generator, and it does it. And the map is not important, to be honest. Like in terms of the actual scale of the map, when you first open it up, think, wow, so everything's really compressed in tight. That's because it's a diplomacy game. Places of power, uncommon. Again, you've got the same sort of deal there, where you can sort of set that one up, and then the game length as well. Like this one also then has. It gives you the numbers as to how long before it then starts to randomize different things at the back end of the game to then sort of have like a winner. And so there's like it gets to a certain length, and then it will start to randomly have things kick in. Now select your avatar. Again, you can see that there's not a real lot to choose from in here. Playing the new version, you're going to have all of them available. So I'll just go and select that one as an example. And then the opponents, they'll just sort of come through. So most of these we do see in the game. We don't have as many in the new game. We only have, I think we've got Asmodeus. Do we? Or Astaroth. I think we've got Astaroth. I don't think we've got Zeal. I forget which ones we've got. We've definitely got Beelzebub and Belial. So these are actually these are directly in the game. Lilith we've got in the new version. God, it's actually cool looking at these. It's so cool looking at these old ones now and seeing what they've done in the new game. Mammon is in there as well. Again, they've done Mammon in a much better way. Moloch, I think Moloch, yeah, Moloch is, I think Moloch is in there. Or Murmur, yeah, Murmur's in there as well. These other ones aren't in there. So these aren't in there. Now, I'm guessing that these will get added in at some other point in the future. So you've got 8, I think, to choose from at the start. So it's pretty cool the way it does actually then go and work. So, I mean, it's just, you just basically select and sort of start to just move your way through. I mean, you can just have random, I guess. I'm not sure. Then you've got the little symbols. But anyway, I won't start the game. But it's, I've got to say that the new version of the game, when you do go back and play the release version of the game and go back and have a look at the original game, the new version is heaps better. Like heaps better in so many different ways. They've cleaned it up so much. Like combat in the old game had like a factor of 2 randomization with the numbers, and so you weren't really ever sure whether you were going to get a like if you attacked something, there was still an RNG component that was a little bit could tweak things one way or another, which made it sort of which was fine in the original game. That's gone. It's now you can now plan ahead unless somebody else has done something that you don't know about to then change the odds in a different favour. And so it's really cool. It's so good with what actually does happen. So it's and it visually looks beautiful. So anyway, that's Solium Infernum. When is that one actually releasing? Because that's also another big deal. Just make the store pages. I don't know if I'm allowed to show it on the day. Let's have a look and see. Okay, release date is I'm not allowed to show it until release. So I'm not allowed to actually show the game off until that point in time. But oh my God, it's going to be such a good game. It's so cool. I'll just read a few more comments and sorry, I've missed a fair few there. So Korosami is saying, I'm glad Distant Worlds 2 is getting a lot of development. Such a great take on 4X it is, yeah. Spark is saying, how's Zephon? I've been playing it and liking it. I love it, actually. That's another game. It's not really, the launch isn't close, so but I'm really happy with where Zephon is heading at this point in time. I think it's I did a video on it because a lot of people actually look at it and think, oh, this is just a reskin of Gladius, and it's not. There's so much more in it. Like it goes into so much more depth. I won't talk much about it though because we've got a lot of other games that are coming out this week, and Zephon's not coming out this week. So Korosami is saying, I'm really surprised no one has tried to emulate it. Yeah, to the extent that it was. Solium Infernum is, I'm assuming you're talking about Solium Infernum. It was such a classic game. And of course, Armageddon Empires was the other game that Vic Davis had built. He was the original developer of both these games. Classic games and really cool games, and just his whole approach was unbelievable with the development of these. Like it was really a work of art, and of course it's very dated now, but the new version, what League of Geeks have done, is really good, and the changes that they've made, you can tell that they must have played the absolute buggery out of the original version of the game to really try to sort of figure out what was going on, with the mechanics, to then make it so good in terms of it, to get rid of the random, the little, even just getting rid of that little random dice thing with the combat, has made the game so interesting. It's so much more interesting with what's going on, and it allows that whole subterfuge aspect of the game to kick in such interesting ways. And again, the original game had it a little bit, it had it a lot, but nowhere near like the new version. So the new version is unbelievably good. I really hope, and I'm fearful that it's going to be a bit too left field for a lot of people to play, that unless they're like us, I conclude all of us, collectively, we like these sort of games, but it may be too out there, a little bit too left field for standard gamers, and I hope that that's not the case, because this is a game that really is exceptional. And I know that there's been a lot of attempts to build diplomacy games that fail. Like it's very hard to do it. This is not one of them. This is a game that does it incredibly well. The mechanics are so pure with it. It's really, really cool. I'll just keep on reading the comments here. Hi Connie, how you going? So Rocklight saying, is there a map overlay or option that allows the sectors to be displayed? Sectors as in, I'm not sure what you mean by that, sorry. In Distant Worlds 2? The sectors don't really kick in as such. Do you mean the individual borders around each star? I'm not sure what you mean. Sorry, Rocklight. So Ramdikar is saying that, yeah, they only show on all ship filter from what I saw. Yeah, I'm not sure, sorry. Serenity saying, I hope that AI in Solium Infernum is greatly improved from the original, which was its biggest flaw. Yeah, look, they've... I know it's one of these things where it's exciting to play. I'm sure it's better than the original, but it's sort of funny. I can't really. I'm trying to pick instances where I've been really surprised by good or bad things that the AI has done, and I can't think of anything either way. They've just been sort of there to play. Certainly it's been interesting to see what they've chosen, and they certainly do use they use the politics to their own advantage in different ways, which is really quite cool. So I don't know, it's a bit of a hard one actually, but it is better than the original. So one of the graphics interfere with the custom arc fiends, SPAC'd. It was mainly just that you could actually, I'm pretty sure you could add your own characters in, whereas in this game the characters are all animated, so they've got like full-on animation, so they're not just characters. There's a lot more involved in them. So the characters, like that's Lilith that we sort of saw there from the original game, and this is I forget his name, as Andromalius. Does it show the others? It'd be cool to actually have a bit of a comparison. These graphics, these actual graphics are fantastic as well, all the way through. Yeah, that's Astaroth. I don't know if Astaroth is even in the original game. They may have combined a couple of them into what he does. But the mechanics are just now so clean. I don't know if if they can show a way that the game starts up. If I can see it publicly, I can then talk about it. No, it's not. But there's so much that you can do. I mean, the original game had a lot as well. It is surprising that nobody has really sort of taken it up until now. This is the politics. This is sort of like the diplomacy overview with the different characters that are in there. Yeah, so we sort of see there's Murmur backing through there. There's Mammon backing through that side as well. It's beautifully done. The game is just beautifully done. It looks great, but it actually plays great as well. Okay, so in the original, the portrait and your stats were totally separate. They were, yeah. Whereas this one, they've put personality into it. They all talk. They all do different things. So it's a big deal to put a new chassis in, essentially. A bit like Distant Worlds 2 as well. Distant Worlds 2 should have just been flat ping files, to be honest, rather than actually having full-on character generation, or not generation, but full-on character application in it. So Silvical saying the earlier iteration of Solium Infernum was great fun. The update makes it a lot easier to play with all the interface improvements. Yes, it does. I think that's a given in today's day and age. But just the mechanics as well. I do want to make a point of that. The mechanics in Solium Infernum are much more pure than they were in the original, and better. And they've really thought them through and made them into a really, really cool version of the game. And when you first play it, it feels like the original game, but it's only when you go back and play the original game that you then start to realise, oh, actually this is quite different. By the way, you cannot get the original game. I don't think you can pick it up anywhere. They've pretty much, when League of Geeks took over the development of this one, all versions were then, like they acquired the rights to everything and just shut everything right down. So I've got an old version back from the time that it was released, so that's why I could install it. But unless you've got that, I don't think you'll be able to get the original game. Not that you're going to want it after 3 more days' time. So, and by the way, the release date that you see there is the Australian release date, which is, remember, I'm a day ahead of most of you, so that will be on the 24th. Will be for most people, but for me it's the 23rd. So That's the, actually, no, was it the 22nd? I forget which. Anyway, on the day. Actually, no, it must be the 22nd release. But so it will be coming out in still 3 more days, basically, from now. Right. So, so Kurosami is saying, I played the beta a bit and found it really cool. Yep, and so Connie's saying, what's wrong with subterfuge? For me, most games that have subterfuge end up becoming where it, like, and I'm thinking of games like the Total War series, when they started putting spies in. It's like, for me, religion and spies in games like Total War, Civilization, for me, they kill the game. They kill what the game is really focused on. Whereas this game is focused on subterfuge. Like the whole premise of this game is focused on it, so it works incredibly well. So for me, that's the problems with it. So Kurosami is saying it's very polished, lots of cool animations. Hi Amy, saying hi. My name is Amy. Hi Amy. So Serenity is saying, I'd like to see a remake of Armageddon Empires as well. Well, there is one. It's it wasn't very well received. That was what was it? I think it begins with L. I do actually have it. I liked it, but no one else did. I hope that this isn't the case with this one here. We looked at this the other week. Last Days of Old Earth, that one there. Now this one came out. Go to the store page of this one. See, no one played it. 30 reviews. This is another Slytherin game. But this one, I really liked this one. 2016, so 8 years ago, was when it actually came out. So, and this is so much geared on Armageddon Empires. It's, it plays not exactly the same, but it does certainly play along the same line. And it was a good game. A rich strategy game filled to the brim with choices. I don't know if it'll say, it won't mention Armageddon Empire. Yeah, see, a lot of people just don't like it. It was buggy. The thing I didn't like was it was a very simple game, but my fans used to just run like crazy whenever I played it. That's why I didn't play it much. Yeah, so here we go. So I don't know if you've heard of a game called Armageddon Empires. Well, anyway, this is just a knockoff of that game, plus or minus a few good ideas. But this one does have a campaign and an army deck that is practically tailor-made for an AI. So it was a good game. I really liked it, but it really was very heavily inspired from Armageddon Empires. And I haven't found another game that's as close to that one. I'm sure other people will be mentioning that as well. Anyway, that's that was that game. But I don't have that one installed anymore. It was, but that was a cool game. So no one played it, no one liked it. So yeah, I did though. Rocklight was saying Distant Worlds 2. Okay, that was with regards to the sectors. I'm not sure what the sectors refer to. Anyway, I'll let that one go. So Blackpool is instead of saying Solium Infernum voiceovers are very good too. Demo was so great, well done. Long time since I played the first one. Yes, it's so immersive. The actual game itself. I mean, I'll play one of these because they really do sound great.
The Dark Majesty has vanished. His infernal throne lies vacant. All that stands between you and eternal power is hell itself. Use dark rituals to curse your rivals. Torment them with clever insults and demands. Gather your praetors and marshal your infernal legions. Know your enemies and plot their downfall. After all, what is hell but other people?
Yeah, great game. It's I hope that this is as good. Actually, I'll show you that. Actually, no, I won't keep on showing stuff. But Yeah, this is coming out in a few days' time, so look out for it. I think this is a absolute. Like, this is probably my most anticipated game of the year now, I would guess. I mean, there's been already some great games coming out, like Dominion 6 and stuff like this. This is right up there with all of them, to be honest. It's I hope it does as well as I hope it does well, because it deserves to. It's very, very polished, very, very cool. So I can't wait to be able to show that one off properly. Right, so Muscle Paint saying hi back, hi Lennon as well. Connie's saying when subterfuge is against humans via diplomacy and detached from the game mechanics, it's the most fun. I agree though, some mechanic units with stealth is not fun. Yes, in this case it's all about, it is all, and even the way that you have to set up your, the way that, you can't just declare war in this game. And again, I wish I could show this aspect of it. The way it works, and there's no real clear way of showing. If I go back to this video here,
the Dark Majesty,
I'll just show a few little things that are here.
His infernal throne lies vacant. All that stands between.
Now this is Pandemonium. I think that's what it's called. This is the central. This is like where Lucifer. This is his seat of power. And Lucifer has now left hell. This is the backstory. And so all the Archfiends are now vying for control of hell. And so whoever controls Pandemonium controls hell. But to attack Pandemonium itself requires incredible military strength. So to do that, you need an incredible military. Inside Pandemonium is what's called the Conclave, which is sort of like a ruling class of like a committee, essentially a committee or I guess a senate of fiends, where to do anything within hell, like to do anything as one of the Archfiends, you need to get approval from the Conclave to be able to do anything. So if you want to declare war, you can't just declare war, because it does, in the game, it describes it incredibly well. Again, I wish I could show it, because it does it very, very succinctly, just basically explaining that, while hell may be, there's a lot of, it's more about the backstabbing than, there's still rules in hell. And the rules in hell are very, very strict, and they're controlled by the Conclave. The Conclave is the one that dishes out and allocates power to the various Archfiends. And so you have to then please the Conclave. And so if you declare war, you don't just declare war, you have to give a warning first, that you're going, not just a warning, you have to make a demand on another player for something, and then they get to choose to either agree to whatever your demand is or not. And so that's the first step. If they, and you then also get to figure out my battle or my war is going to be over X, Y, or Z. So you get to actually figure out it may just be by taking a few of the actual hexes, which are, as you can see on the map, they're quite big, the actual hexes on the map. And so it may just be claiming 2 of those or something like that, or it may be claiming a seat of, like a place of power. There's different areas in here.
Power is hell itself.
So that's the Dark Throne underneath there. These rituals are where the other players don't get to see these. And this is how you do your subterfuge. And so you can set something up where you appear weak, but you're very strong in this sort of other subterfuge type thing. And you can then do surprising things with it, which is really, really interesting. There's actually, the devs actually sent out a written after action report, basically, like a run through that somebody wrote after they played the game, and just how unbelievable the finish was and how much fun it was to play. And that was, I read through that because it was really, really interesting. And that was one where he'd set himself up to not try, if he could win the game, or he could choose who was going to win the game. If he chose who was going to win the game, he would then leap over them and become the winner of the game, like depending on how he'd set this all up. But he had to back them all the way through, and it was actually played as a multiplayer game, and it was really interesting to read because it was even up until the very, very last turn. He still didn't know if he was going to be able to get the win, and it was very, very well written. I forget what it was, where it was actually. Anyway, I'm not allowed to. I don't think I'm allowed to show that yet. I'm not sure. But if you have a search around for it, there's some really, really cool information out there on the actual game itself. It's very, very well done, extremely well done. And that's where the diplomacy side of it is bigger than the combat, even though the combat, when you start learning the game, you're playing more the combat style because it's what you're familiar with. So the tutorial starts off in the thing that you see on the map, but then it starts to go into the stuff that's underneath that. And so this is, as I said before, it's a game where people who master this will do very, very well in the diplomacy, and yet it will still be playable for people who really just play it superficially. So yeah, that's sort of where we are there. So where did we get up to? Yeah, like the battle animations. I think we did that one. Have you watched Vinland Saga yet? No, I haven't. Yep, so hi ZXM. I think I said hi before. Also, if you heard of Underrail, I have. I haven't played it though. Rocklight saying, I will ask again when I see you playing Distant Worlds 2, it'll be easier then. Yeah, okay, yeah, because if I'm playing that one, you can then ask me directly. I will be playing that on Twitch. I don't know if I'll go back and play more on YouTube. I'll have to see. There's just so much coming out this week. That's the only trouble. So I'm going to be sort of flicking around all over the place. Like it's... Connie's saying there's a unit of measure in Distant Worlds 2 as to how far ships operate called sectors. Oh, yes. Okay, I can show you that. Okay. I'll go back into Distant Worlds 2 and show you exactly what... of course, sector. I was thinking of provinces, and I don't know why I had that in my head. Sorry, that's super clear. I can clear that up straight away. Now, the game should have these shown. And it should actually have... when you go into display mode... it should show sectors as a ring out from where you actually are. And so it's quite simple once you know what to do. And I'll show you, I'll just go through the steps. Oh, hang on. I might just go back out. I don't know if we can see. There was something in here where it had the game set up, but I forget where it was. It was certainly on the outside. I'll just quit back out to the main menu because it does show it there, and I forget where else it does show it. If we go to load game and I'll click on this one through here, so you'll see through here. Does it show it in here? Actually, it doesn't show it in there. That's just the setup for what we actually have. But anyway, I think we're playing with like colonization of 150M. I think is the important one to sort of know, even though it doesn't show it in this other side. So we'll just go and load that one in. And, okay. So, now, like in the old game, it had grids and all sorts of different things, and you did play inside these grid sectors. The sectors are sort of not really defined anymore. So they're not a definition in the game. Whereas in Distant Worlds Universe, they used to be a grid system. And so the sector range, if we have a look, this is a 1,000. I think it's 1,000 wide from edge to edge, or is it 16? Actually, no. I think it's 10,000. Again, actually, let me have another look. It should have shown me again in that setup. Load game. Yeah, it's an 8x8 sectors. So it's got the 8x8 in through there. So that's where we are. Let's go and load that one in again. Now, with the game, it doesn't like the sectors in the old game. It was the full sectors, and you had it out through here. This is not playable anymore, really. I mean, it sort of is, but it's not really. And so sectors, I think this is why they got rid of the grid system, because they no longer really apply. If you press the Shift key, you now actually have display distances. And if I go from one end of the galaxy and click and then drag it across, you'll see it's 16. So a sector is 200M wide. So that's sort of where you are. So so a full sector from edge to edge is 200M, and so you can see there the 1600 in through that side. It will continue on further out, but that is basically the sector range, which means that if you've got so it's 100M essentially coming out. I think it's 100M or 200M, whichever one it is. If this fleet here, like if this third attack fleet was set to to like this is the same system, but if I select that one to sector range, I did put a recommendation that they put in brackets how many M it actually is, and also they should actually have, like if you do press the shift key, it should show you these ranges, I believe, so you can sort of see what's going on. We have things, for example, like that's the jump range, and that's the fuel range of the ship back out through there. But the sector range, I think it's either 200 or 100. If it's 200 across an actual sector, then I would assume if that's in the middle of its own sector, it should be a 100 M. So if I press shift, click on that particular location, so 100 M would essentially mean anything around that sort of circle. So that would be sort of like the range of a sector, like going, you know, even out into these sorts of areas, close to these areas. So that would be sort of like sector range for it to then be able to operate, if that makes sense. That's how I read it. I don't read it as 200. I read it like the sector range would be like from negative 100 over this way through to positive 100 back on the other side here. So that would be the sector range, which I think is actually too big, to be honest, in the game. I would prefer to see those sorts of ranges a bit lower, because it goes from system to that, which covers a hell of a lot. And then you've got like the, again, if I just go back and grab the third fleet, if I can do it, I'll just get the 6th Defence Fleet. So, and again, if that's the fuel range, then a third, like 33% of the fuel range is essentially the same as a sector range in this instance. So it's sort of not really sort of showing that one through there. So so Connie's saying that, like I said before, no one knows for sure about sectors. I'm pretty sure it's 100 away from wherever you are is the actual range. I don't know why they didn't just say 100 M or in brackets 100 M, because that's really what it is. But that's how you can sort of tell. And if I started a game up with a different size map, we'd then be able to sort of just check and see how that one actually then sort of works. But that's how that one does work. All right, let's go and exit that one. Okay, so that's Distant Worlds now done. Sorry about it. Sorry I didn't actually catch what you're going on through there with that one. Now, sorry, I'm just going to skip through a little bit. Blackpool is saying looking forward to Primitive Society Simulator. I don't know that one. And Lennon's just saying, yeah, it's my favourite, not the best I've played, but yes, that's okay. If you like Underrail, check out the Venom and Avedon series. Okay, so yep, so you guys are just talking about that. I'll just skip on through. Where do we get up to? Yep, no one knows about sectors from Connie. That's okay. So Rocklight saying, yeah, at least that's more than I knew. But yeah, that's that will be just you press the shift, click, and then go out to 100, and that's going to be basically what your sector range will be. So yep, okay. Anyway, so let's go on to the next game, which is Xenonauts. Now, Xenonauts has had another massive update this morning. Now, I did actually ask about this because they were talking about it, saying that it was all brand new. Oh, hang on, I don't want to do that. Don't want to do that one. It's the store page. So Xenonauts. Yeah, because I was thinking, hang on, if you're in the beta, if you're in the open beta, you've already got all the stuff that they just released this morning. So it's still early access, but they released a massive update. So if you got Xenonauts, you may want to start playing it again. It's mainly for the mid game as well in this instance. But just go back into the community hub. Actually, there was a comment. I must have skipped over it, missed it. I think someone commented to say that I'm streaming at an unusual time. Yeah, I had another stream that I had to do at the time when I would normally be doing these ChatTactic sessions. So I'm not sure if this is a good time to do it or not. Like, I can certainly do it later than what I normally do. But I've been sort of trying to do it more for, sort of compatible for Europe essentially, but which is still good for America, like, if that makes any sort of sense. So I've sort of been trying to find the sweet spot between those, because that's my normal streaming time. Because I don't normally stream during the day here in Australia. So it's sort of like middle of the night or very early in the mornings does suit me. Anyway, let's go back into under news. Is it going to have anything? Yeah, here we go. So this happened at 5:12 a.m. It's actually happened before that, a little bit before that. I think an hour before this one. This was from 3 hours ago, this particular one. So now this is milestone 3. Now they were testing this. You could play the experimental version of the game. And I did ask, I said, oh, look, the experimental version has been out for weeks. I've already covered the experimental version like some weeks ago on this ChatTactic session. And they said, oh, no, that was just the testing little bits and pieces of the experimental version. Oh, sorry, of milestone 3. But the real release is now. So if you, this is now the actual release for Xenonauts 2 for milestone 3. And so this is big. There's a lot of big things in here. So our milestone 3 update of Xenonauts 2 has now been officially been released. This update will break existing save games, but if you want to keep playing your existing campaigns, please switch to our legacy branches where milestone 2 is still available, and you can go through it. Again, it's what I showed you there before about going to the betas and changing the betas. So this initial version of Milestone 3 is a development build with additional logging that causes slower performance and occasional flashes of red debug text while you play. We'll switch back to normal release build without any extra logging by the end of the week. So they're still just testing a few little things, but it still is the full version of Milestone 3. We've decided to do this because we want to ensure anyone suffering technical issues from our upgrade to Unity 2022 can easily provide us with information to fix them. We'll be watching the forums here, blah, blah, blah. I've got to say, the development has been very slow, but I like it. I like the approach a lot. They do things they do things with Xenonauts 2 it would be like their promises of what they said that they were going to be doing. They're not delivering on what they had originally said. They're switching direction every so often, and it sounds like it's a negative, but it's actually a positive, because what they're doing is they're trying to find what is going to give the players the most enjoyment. And I know that there's a lot of people who don't want to look at the game until the end game is in the game, and it would have been easy for them to flick and go straight to building that sort of content. But if they had have done that, all of the stuff that they've been working on wouldn't be worked on, and it would end up being a less good game in the end. And so the approach they're taking, which is slow and methodical, but also being willing to go back on what they've said for the different milestones, and then go and work on other things that people are wanting that are playing the game. They're rewarding the people who are playing it, basically. Because I don't think there's people who play the game that are screaming for the end game stuff with the stuff that they're actually working on. I certainly aren't. I think that what they've done is great. I much prefer seeing developers do this sort of stuff than to feel that they're constrained to a promise that they had made, or not a promise but a commitment. Like they made a commitment that they were going to do something by a certain date or work on something. And Distant Worlds 2 is the same sort of deal. Like they were going to do a whole lot of quality of life things, but then they had a whole lot of issues that they were fixing. So they switched to the issues, which really hurt them in terms of their sales. But it's and Xenonauts 2, I think it's in one sense it's hurt them for the sales, but it's going to be such a good game because of that one. So it's and they have been switching. So the new content, what have we got? Anyway, I do want to point out, because I know that this is a very common comment, is I'm not going to play it until it's ready, and I'm not going to play it until the end game until the final missions have been put in there. There's so much in it now. So it sort of says the playable time in this campaign has been extended to 260 days, up from 180 days in Milestone 2. So they are adding more content to it, but they're methodically adding it in. They're not just going straight to the end game, or they're not trying to rush the content. Again, I applaud this massively. During which time the cruiser UFO will begin to spawn. This contains or unlocks several new pieces of content. So the cruiser UFO with 2 additional layout variants, alien fusion weapons, Xenonaut fusion weapons, the Gemini Interceptor, the Pegasus dropship, and the Ares, an improved version of the Mars. So we've got then we've got Unity 2022. It's just going through technical stuff in through this other side. AI improvements. Civilians are now less suicidal. Melee units, especially Reapers, should make better decisions. All units will no longer just stand in fire and smoke until they die or pass out. The AI will now open doors, even if the tile on the other side is blocked by another unit, allowing them to shoot at Xenonauts camping doors. Cleaner reinforcements will now act more aggressively on most maps, and move quickly towards your dropship extraction area. So that's going to make these other missions a lot more interesting. I actually really like the cleaners, I've got to say. We've got bleeding wounds and healing and bleeding aliens. So aliens now suffer bleeding wounds when they take damage in the same way Xenonauts do. However, each bleeding wound now has a 25% chance of healing and disappearing after it inflicts damage for at the end of the turn. Unconscious units will now also continue to suffer damage from any bleeding wounds they suffer while conscious, and may die as a result. That's actually fairly big. Usability improvements. So pre-mission soldier equipment arrangement. We've added a button on the pre-mission soldier equipment screen that allows easy access to the screen. I think they had that in the experimental branch. I do remember playing with that one. Sell junk items button. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they had that as well, I think. Abduction missions. Yeah, that one we were testing that one. Definitely testing that one, I think. Yeah, actually, it looks like it's a few changes into here. But there's a lot of content, like a lot of minor balances. But yeah, when I did actually say to Hooded Horse when they sort of told me about it, and I wasn't allowed to show this until 4 hours ago. But I didn't prepare any content because I knew I'd be talking about it today. But this is I did actually sort of say, look, I have been already playing it, so why is there a restriction on the content? And they said, oh no, there's a lot more in this than what there was in the other stuff. So in the experimental branch. So just if you've got Xenonauts, you may want to fire up. The milestones are great; they really are good. So you can see through there, milestone 3.08 released in the experimental patch. That was on the 18th of Feb, which was 2 days ago. Milestone, yeah. So these are the experimental branches, and we did cover this a few weeks ago. I think when they first released 301 or 30, yeah, back in January, end of January. That's when it first came out. Then these were the other milestones. So you can see that they're working pretty solidly. Like this is milestone 2.21 released in the experimental versions. Is that on special at the moment? I don't know if it is. Yeah, 30% off at the moment. So there's another cheapie, or relatively cheap one, but that's actually worth grabbing. That's worth grabbing. So Hooded Horse have also got another game I'm really looking forward to coming out at the end of March. So I won't talk about it now, but I'll be covering a lot of Hooded Horse games this year. God, they've got so many great games coming this year. It's unbelievable. Anyway, if we go, and I'll show you some of the content, because what they did provide me with was, and I'll probably do another video on this because it is pretty cool. Where have I got it? That's going to be under modern. Xenonauts. I think it's under modern. I forget where I've actually classified it. It wouldn't be future, I don't think. It's funny, I can't see it there. Oh, there it is, right at the start. So this is a preview of the build. I probably should go back to the other like just the normal release version of it. This is a version that I was allowed to use to record content for it. But they did give me 3 save games with some of the content in there. Yeah, Subcle's saying, I tried to fire up Xenonauts the other day and couldn't get past the loading screen. It does take a long time. It does take a long time. It's an alpha build, just understood. Okay, so if I just go and load it, I think the first time, if you haven't played it for a while, it does take minutes to load in. So we've got, now these are like day 365. Well, that's beyond what I was saying. There's a UFO interception, a crash site with this is a crash site with fusion weapons. I won't play that one. Then we had so these are ones that they showed, I've got all these different ones I'm allowed to show. This is UFO interception with tier 3 ships. Maybe I'll show you that because I know that some people are sort of wanting to know what's going on with the combat. So let's just go and load that save. I think that this is air combat. I think. Again, I was allowed to record this one. Yes, this is day 345. So it's beyond the actual time that they've done everything. I think the game will still keep on playing. You just don't have the end game stuff. So Korosami's saying lots of new VO work and balancing and extra content. Okay, Korosami's. Oh, sorry, you're talking about Road Trader has had a huge update. Oh, actually, is that the one I've got? Oh, there's a game that I've got which I haven't played, which I did mean to play because it was very similar to US. What is it? Ultimate Space Commandos. It was not so much. It's a bit like Xenonauts, but not. But a bit different. So if that's actually got new content, I might actually have a look at that one because I think I've got that one as well, but I haven't actually played it. So this is what we're looking at through here. This is the this is ships. We're tracking them down through here. So we've got a squadron. Squadron 1 is being chased down by the UFOs. I don't know if I can grab that one. Yeah, so select target UFO 68. Is that the one? It's hard to tell. Here we go. So UFO 68 detected. We'll just go slow time and center on the UFO. Okay, so that's actually okay. Here we go. So the squadron is intercepted. So these are our interceptors, I think. I forget how it works now. Commence the attack. So you can see that we've got like different sorts of aircraft. Now we don't actually have anything. It's just in this sort of mode, which is what the original game was like as well. I'll just let it play itself out. They've now got different weaponry. I'll just play it. This is just auto play basically. I can still get in and actually change things up and see what's going on. So they've killed one of the interceptors. Actually, the interceptors are the alien interceptors. So they're going in with their machines, their machine guns. So these interceptors are still there. Hull points are coming down. That one's down, and then they all gang up on those. Again, the armor is still pretty good for our guys. So we lost a bit there with the Gemini 2, but that was pretty cool. Just accept the results. And so the combat is getting better. There's another group over through here, another group of aliens. This is a cruiser and 2 interceptors. So let's go after this one as well. Yeah, they'll just go after that. I don't know if I can speed up time here. Whoops, there we are. Okay, so we've now got the new cruisers and the interceptors in through here. We've taken some damage. So let's commence the attack. Yeah, but that's going to be shot down over water, but anyway. So the big cruiser's in the middle there. Let's resume. Now we've already spent our torpedoes, so we don't have any more of them anymore. So we now just get fully into. We're probably going to get shot down here. Yeah, there we go. We've lost one. The other 2 are still going okay. Big cruisers attacking us. Got one more left. Got one of them. And yeah, so we got destroyed by the cruiser. So interception failed in that instance. So we'd accept the results there. So that's so we got rid of one of them. I'll just close that one. But anyway, that's the that's the combat. So the combat is a bit different. If we go and load in one of the other games, yes, this is just auto stuff. Again, I can just go back down to the cleaner mission, cleaner leader mission, which is now different to sort of show what's going on. There was the intercept. What was the other one? This is the crash site. I don't know how far. I'll just load this one in. Again, this is with a team. Yes, it's saying illustrating what not to do. Yes, absolutely. So Connie's saying, just realised why isn't there a Terra Invicta icon on your desktop? It's such a great... Yeah, it is. I do have it, but it takes so long to get... I know that there's now supposed to be a quick launch into the space combat. I might have to come back and try to play that one. It was too long to go in and be able to do anything with that, so I didn't do it. Now, I'm going to see if I can run down to where the cruiser is. I don't know if I'm going to make it. Yeah, we've got aliens back over here. I think this is going to take too long, but let's just run and gun. These guys have got the Gauss rifles and stuff. They may have better equipment than what we've sort of seen there before. Let's just go and run to here. Enemy spotted. God, yeah, we're not going to make it through. I won't keep on sort of trying to do this. Big damage. Now that's only a Mars, it's not the Ares. You see the cruiser yet? Nope. Well, I just want to get to see what's actually going on with the other one. Just rush them all through. This is not the way you play the game, but anyway. So this is more late game. I'm not seeing the cruiser. I'm guessing it's over behind there somewhere. Just half assuming. There's another one. Doesn't matter, just keep on moving. Actually, if we go up top, we might be able to see what's going on a little bit more clearly. Oh, hang on, Rogue Trader. I'm thinking of a different game. Sorry. Yeah, I don't have Rogue Trader. Big damage. It's not going well for us. I just want to see the cruiser. I'll use a door when you can smash a window. Oh, there it is. There's a cruiser. Okay, so we're losing units here. Oh, this one's gone berserk. Take that. He's had enough. All right. Wow, look how big that is. So this is the new ships that are coming. Don't know if we can break our way through there. Face that. Let's have a look inside. Come on, open her up. Alright, so it looks like we've got more doors there. Some of them have died with the crash. Can't see much else there. There's more doors there as well. So, and we've got different. We've had different Z layers. We've had that for a few other ships. Just go and bring them in. See if we can open up some of the doors. This is saying Rogue Trader is also one of those games Daz would never admit to playing, being story. It's just more that there's so many games coming out at the moment that I do like certain games, but if I've tried to find excuses now not to play them. There was another game actually I did a recording of before I did my live stream this morning, and it was called, begins with N. Anyway, I did a video on it because I really quite like it. When we can't do anything with. I think we've got everyone. Let's just end our turn here. He's gone. what you get for going berserk. I do like Warhammer stuff. Here they come. Look at the depth of the building now. All right. Daniel is panicked. Yes, we've got a few different units at the back there. Enough there. That one's down. That's good. But yeah, it's interesting. I don't know where the ladders are to go up to the next level. That one's panicking, so we can't go through. Still nothing there. Okay, that's that room. All right, so then maybe it's at the back. Actually, that'd be the engine room. Anyway, we won't keep on playing, but that's so they've now got the new, and they've got new different layouts for in here. Actually, that's it there. That's the way up. Do they have any more movement? No, I don't think we do. Anyway, let's leave it there. We'll just leave it at that stage. We'll quit out of the game. But there is so there's a lot more content now in the game. Just go to the desktop. Great game, Xenonauts 2. Great game. Now, what else was there? There was heaps to talk about. We've had Terminator. Terminator's coming out in just a couple of days' time as well. So let's go back into that. This is a game that is better than it was when the first demo came out. So, Terminator. Actually, I'm not sure exactly. I'm allowed to show it tomorrow. Actually, that's not Terminator Resistance. Dark Fate Defiance. This one here. Okay, so yeah, out on February 21st. So I'm not allowed to show it. Just yet. I'll just get rid of this here. So yeah, so it's coming out on the 22nd for me, so 2 days time. 21st for everyone else, I guess. Now, what is it? Again, I'm not allowed to show the game, but I'm allowed to show this. Planned release date. I don't know what the price is going to be. It's going to be a reasonable game. This is not a random game. You do sort of play through different missions. And I'll just see if this has got the new content in it. Yeah, it's not showing a lot, is it, really? It's not showing a lot. It's played at this sort of level where you're not super zoomed in, so you don't really get the immersion of it, I guess. But a lot of these sort of games are like this. And in fact, you know, we look at the other games that are coming out. The God, what's the other big one that's coming? My mind's gone blank with it. Another Slytherin game. Not Battle Sector. Battle Sector's great. That one does have the high immersion because you can get in really close. But this one, and my mind's gone blank. I'll just have a quick look and see what they've got. What's coming up? Yeah, not Battle Sector, not Starship Troopers. Broken Arrow. Broken Arrow is going to sort of be the same sort of scale where you're further back, and Terminator is as well. So it's Terminator is one where, and I have enjoyed playing the release candidate of the game a lot more than what I enjoyed playing the actual the first of the demos. The demo I found was awkward, whereas I've enjoyed the voice acting. I've enjoyed the dialogue, which I often get quite scathing about this sort of stuff, but I've actually enjoyed what they've done with the game, and the game does have some interesting mechanics as well. So, as I say, I'm going to be allowed to show this one in a couple of, well, actually, as of tomorrow, I think. So I'm allowed to show that in about 18 hours. I'm not sure if I'll show that tomorrow. I may still keep on playing. Maybe I will. Maybe I'll play that tomorrow, because on my Twitch channel. Just because this one is coming, very, very soon. So I'm allowed to play it one day in advance. Just get rid of that one. And but it does look good. Like, it's a good-looking game. It does have some fairly unique aspects. Even it does have a bit of replayability based on the actual maps. They do have some aspects about them that sort of shuffle things around a little bit, which is cool, but it's still not random maps or anything. But but it is good what they actually do have. It's going to be more a but it is more this sort of level where you're further away. You're not really getting in close. I don't think that any of this is content. That's about as close as you're going to be able to be looking. But then you're missing a lot of the other stuff going on around on the screen. This is good. Like, there's a lot of detail with the actual squads that you end up picking up. Like with the resistance type squads. Legion, is that Legion? No, Legion is the robots, isn't it? I forget all the terminologies. But it's a good looking game. A very good looking game. And it's going to be something that a lot of players will enjoy playing as well. Like this, and again, like Broken Arrow as well. Broken Arrow is going to be a monster of a game. Even though it's probably not really, I prefer to play combat mission personally. This one though does have some nice things about it. Yeah, it's pretty cool the way it does work. See, this is still fairly immersive. I mean, the map here is a bit different. It's good. It's good. I think this is going to be a good one. I think people will. Like, I know that when I've been talking about the game on Twitch a little bit, people have been interested in it. So it could be a nice one for people. And I do want to show it off because it's one of those games where some people may not like the mechanics of what actually does go on. Like, you got supply trucks and things like that you have to manage. It's a good looking game, the way it sort of does work. Anyway, that's Terminator Dark Fate Defiance coming this week as well, just a couple of days' time. I don't think no one's actually, well, we don't even know what the price is at this stage. I'll just close that one off. They had done some, like in the early demo stuff, they had done some little cutscene type recordings. They were reasonable, like they were pretty good. I think though that the actual, this thing doesn't really portray the game. I wish I could show it, but I'm not allowed to show it just yet. Sorry, I'll just get rid of that one. Yeah, so it's a real-time strategy game, but it's pausable. So it's got an active pause, which I don't like playing any of these games without having an active pause on it. That follows the war between humanity and Legion's synthetic intelligence machine network. In the single-player campaign, you take the role of a commander in the Founders, a force made up of the remnants of the US military, and guide your army in an attempt to foil Legion's plans to exterminate the last remnants of humanity. In skirmish and multiplayer modes, play as 3 different diverse factions, so Founders, Movement, and Legion. Take control of an army carried over from mission to mission on a series of large strategic maps. Make decisions about unit placement, battle tactics, and abilities so that you don't just survive, but can also become the leader of the resistance against the machines. Hone your skills and military expertise by replaying and achieving the best possible outcomes. So you've got dynamic battlefields, realistic tactics, and consequences. This is interesting. This is what I was talking about before with the dynamic battlefields. It does give you replay value. So engage in complex, realistic battles where your tactical decisions are vital to your survival and ultimate victory. Use a variety of military equipment, vehicles, and ammunition types in your battles against the enemy. Recruit and train new units, assign new skills, and acquire new weapons and equipment to continue the resistance. Encounter tense battles. Your battlefield tactics and choices have deep consequences that will impact throughout the campaign. Now, I haven't played enough of it to know that, so I will live stream it tomorrow, and I'll play maybe sort of like 3 hours of it and see how we go, with other factions and characters either joining you or fighting against you, and with certain missions being available or not depending on your actions. Your resources are limited and you must protect your army. Weapons of war receive damage through a modular component damage system, where armour characteristics, component malfunctions, and hull structure all affect if your troops survive. That's interesting. I mean, the game is sort of more set in the USA, but they've used the British armour spelling, which is sort of unusual. Like some games, you expect it and you don't see it, and other ones you don't expect it and you do see it. But because like in this one here, I think it'd be more appropriate to use the American spelling. So lead the survival of mankind. So recruit others to your cause and grow your army. Mix and match the composition of your troops to fit your preferred battle tactics. Use infantry units, heavily armoured military vehicles, plasma cannon technology, drones and other flying units, and even human skirmishers to achieve victory. So there's a lot to like about this. Like there's a lot that you can manage as you go through. It's not just battles. You can play skirmish. Again, I'm not allowed to show it at this stage. So use the battlefield to your advantage. Physics-based building demolition lets you generate a realistic set of tactical consequences, especially in urban areas. I am finding that the survivability from the little bit that I have played is extremely high. So it takes a lot of shots for your forces to get damaged. Multiplayer mayhem, skirmish and online battles. So the excitement amplifies in skirmish and multiplayer modes. I don't know if I'd like that simply because the active pause would then be gone. I do like having active pause. We can play as 3 distinct. Yeah, we've done that one before. Engage in epic battles across vast landscapes. Yeah, we've done that as well. So anyway, that's coming a couple of days' time. I don't know if we spoke about it last week, but the Tower also, just having a look at Battle Sector, the Tower was released last week, which is, that's the Necrons. If I just go back into here, this is Battle Sector in through here. This is going from strength to strength, I've got to say. Not sure if I showed this one, but this was, if we go back into their releases, again, it's on special at the moment. And this is another one where there's just more and more content coming. And the Tower is now the new group that's just come into the actual game. I did do a video on this as well. I was very impressed with it. The overall game itself now is becoming so much more fun to play. Like when it first released, I was actually a bit scathing about the random campaign that they had. It wasn't great, but it now really is getting good. Like it's good, not great at the moment, but it was actually poor when they first released it. The game itself was always good. Like the mechanics in the game have always been good, but just the Planetary Conquest random campaign still needs a lot of work and still could be improved enormously, but it really is now pretty cool what they've done, I've got to say. It's very, very good. Anyway, the Tower have now been released, so there's a lot of content now coming for Battle Sector, which is great. Don't know if it'll. It's such a good-looking game, this one. Might as well look at it in large mode. Whole range of different types of units. Poor old orcs. The orcs are so easy to beat. It's a gorgeous looking game, this one. Yeah. Very, very cool the way that one does work. So yeah, that's Battle Sector with the new Tower DLC, which just came out last week as well. So now what did we get up to? So I saw Cecil's comment saying also Rogue Trader is one of those games Daz would never admit playing, being story driven. I do like some of them, to be honest, and there's some of the story driven campaigns I do enjoy playing. Saying also might contain halflings or ratlings. I did look at it, but there was so much coverage of it. I thought, I'm not going to worry about it. So I'm not, what was I thinking of when you guys were talking about that. I was thinking of another game, a different game. Not Rogue Hex. Where is it? I can't think of what it was. There's another game that I was thinking of playing, but it was I can't see it there. I've got Stellar Tactics. That's what I was thinking of. I don't know why I was thinking that when you said Rogue Trader, but I was thinking of Stellar Tactics. It's a game that I haven't played properly yet. I do want to play that one at some point. It's very much like USC Counterforce, which also had a big update. I think we covered that one last week, though. Anyway, let's keep on going. So what are the things? We haven't spoken about Age of Wonders. Now, next week, I'm going to be allowed to actually show off Age of Wonders, so we'll just cover it very, very briefly today, and then we'll make, probably next week will be mainly about Age of Wonders. Age of Wonders 4. It's funny, its recent reviews are going backwards a bit, so 76 is still pretty good, 81, yeah, so still within QE of the original release. But the new, and again, I'm under embargo with this, with the Primal Fury, but they're releasing good content. Like, you know, if you're interested, you'll be able to sort of see content online that Paradox has been releasing. And it really is exceptional. Like, this is such a good edition. I don't know what the pricing will be, but I'm guessing it's going to be pretty much as per the, if we just go back there. From what I understand, it's supposed to be the same pricing as Dragon Dawn, which at this stage, I don't think it's on special, is it? No. So $14.50 Australian, so about $10 US, I would guess. And then the other one is about $20 for the Empire and Ashes DLC. But Primal Fury, I understand that it's supposed to be priced in around here, but I can't see that. It's for me, it's got much greater value than $10. Like it seems. I hate to say it, but it seems light on. For the amount of content that's going to be coming. And again, I'm allowed to talk about what's publicly there because they have shown a lot of it. In fact, even as we go back through it, so this one actually just came out a few days ago. This is the art. So I won't go through all the detail about, you know, these dev diaries. They are interesting, but the actually, what is that one? So this is all the. It's funny. What's that? This is from. That's a meme about that, isn't it? That puppy face. Anyway, it's funny. Anyway, I won't keep on going back through. This is the blow darters. That's the new sort of modelling for the blow darts. I love all this stuff as well. All the concept art that they've got. Yeah, they've done a really, really good job of adding all the different bits and pieces in here. Actually, with everything, it's really nice. There's the blow darts themselves. Different other primal type units. I really wasn't expecting it to be anything like this. I will be doing a series on this on YouTube as well. I'm finding that the series actually end up harming my channel a little bit, and I've stopped doing series for the last few weeks, and I found that it's been better for my channel not to do them, which means less content, unfortunately, but it also does mean if I'm going to be doing a series, I'm better off doing live streams and spending 3 hours on it. That doesn't hurt the channel, but if I do a series where I'm uploading like a half hour to 1 hour video, after I've done about 4 or 5 videos, my channel starts to suffer in terms of, YouTube stops promoting it. So it's a tricky one actually. I hate the way YouTube does that, but it's a great addition. Again, the cities are unique. There's a lot of unique stuff in the game actually with what they've done. It really is a beautiful addition. Yeah, it's fantastic. God, there's a lot of good stuff in here. Forms, yeah. The differences in through here with the goatkin or whatever they're called, and then the wolf group as well. Return of the Nagas. So this is like another major feature. So we're getting so much content. I can't believe if it is $10, I'm going to be really surprised. It's just so much. Look at it all. God, they've done a good job. It's funny because I was actually fully prepared to be quite disappointed with this DLC, but I'm not. Like it's much more than what I was expecting. Like a hell of a lot more, and in a good way as well. Like it's not just. I thought it was just going to be beasts. I thought it was just going to be okay. Look, you can recruit animals or something like that. I thought that was all it was going to be, and so I was thinking, I don't really I never liked the animals in Age of Wonders 3, and so I thought that it was going to be just more of the same sort of stuff. But it's all the Fey units, so it's actually like the goat can essentially end up being. Like Fey type units and Nagas as well. So we end up with so much more content from what's going to be coming. And as I say, next week I'm going to be able to go through in a lot more detail. In fact, what time am I allowed to do that? Yeah, as next week I'm going to be. I've got 2 hours after I'm going to be allowed to talk about it openly and show it openly at the time when I do my normal ChatTactic recording. So. It'll be open for 2 hours at that stage. So, but I'm under embargo until that point. So we'll just have a quick look at some of the other stuff. Yeah, primal culture. I won't go through in much detail because there's still more things to talk about that are coming this week. And I know I've missed a lot of games that are coming this week. There's just so much. This is really, really cool. It's so cool. It's going to be a great addition again. And if it's $10. US, like that's going to be absolutely awesome. Okay, let's have a quick look and see what else we've got through here. So Sharky Mouse saying, has Daz covered Cube Chaos yet? I don't know that one actually. Seems something he would like. I'll actually we'll have a look at that one. Let's have a look. Actually, I'll just read all of these and I'll try to come back. If by the time of reading all these I forget to have a look at it, remind me again, please. Broken Arrow, yep, that was the one I was trying to get my head around. I heard it's very heavily scripted for those kind of broken. This is Terminator, says Connie. Thanks for putting that in brackets. Often I skip past things and then we end up coming back and I forgot what we're talking about. So Radigar is saying, what does Broken Arrow bring over something like Warno? I've never played Warno, but I've seen it. And it's one of those things where I don't think it adds a lot, but there's a lot of hype around it. And so, if I'm being brutally honest about it, I'm not like Broken Arrow is not on my top list of games coming out this year for me. It's not something that I'm looking forward to playing it, but I'm not desperate to play it. Like, and I've got games that I have been desperate to play. Like, if we look at the games that are coming, or the games that have come out, Dominion 6, desperate to play it. Solium Infernum, desperate to play it. This release for Age of Wonders, can't wait to get my hands on that one. There's so many games that are in this really top echelon for me of games coming out this year that I can't wait to get my hands on. But Broken Arrow is another whole tier down below that. So I'm looking forward to it, but I'm not really looking forward to it, if you know what I mean. Like I'm not going to put that ahead of. And even, as I said before, even games like they've just brought out another version of Combat Mission which is sort of like a late World War II combat mission game, and I haven't played that yet. I haven't actually shown that yet. But that's again another game that I actually much prefer those games. Much prefer those games than games like Broken Arrow and like Terminator. To be honest, like Terminator and Broken Arrow are very similar to me. Connie's then saying name recognition maybe because of the movie with John Travolta. Yeah, I was surprised at the name Broken Arrow. Like it's sort of because a broken arrow was a missing missile, and I don't, because that was the John Travolta movie was about a missile that had gone missing. So I don't know why it's called Broken Arrow because that's not in the game, I don't think. But anyway, that's what it is. Black Paul's saying 9-bit Army is a bit too far, but comes out on the 23rd of Feb. I did look at that one. Why didn't I want to look at that one? Maybe we'll come back and have a look at that as well. So Admiral's then saying this game's campaign is hard. I'm not sure which game we were talking about there. Hi, Sketic, how you going? Connie's saying a bit too far. Nice pun. So David Anderson saying also has multiplayer, unlike Starship Troopers. Yes, that's Terminator. So Terminator will actually be... and Terminator is a very solid multiplayer from what I've seen. So expect that. I think Terminator is going to do very well. It's as I say, I wasn't impressed with the early demo, but then there's other games like Millennium, not Millennial. Millennium is another game where when I first looked at the demo of that, well, not even the demo, when I first looked at the beta of that, I wasn't all that impressed, but I've played it again since. So again, I don't actually have the demo loaded, otherwise I'd do content on that. I've got a closed beta, and I'm not allowed to show it, but I'm impressed with it. You know, like it's actually a game that I wasn't looking forward to, but I really like where it's going with now. So my mind has changed with Millennium, you know, as well. Like that's another game which is still a little way off, but actually, that's another thing. Sorry, the demo for Millennium is still open this week, so they've extended that for another week as well. So if you do want to play Millennium, which is like a civilization type game, then certainly you can grab the demo. I wish I could show the beta, because I don't really want to be loading in a big demo at this stage for that, with so many other games that are coming out this week. So Cecil's saying, I think the developers are not from the USA, however, so it's likely just using British English, which is often what you learn in school outside the USA. Yeah, it's only the USA that gets rid of the U's. Saying Cecil's saying, poor orcs getting bullied by Daz. Oh, they're easy beats in Battle Sector. They're a hard faction to play, because they have to close the gap before they can do much. Kurosami saying, very cool. What did you think of the HW3? What's HW3? Homeworld. Yeah, sorry, Homeworld 3. The shorts I saw of Homeworld 3 were exceptional. The demo, which I've got on my computer because I wanted to have a bit of a play with it, I didn't get to play as much of it as I liked. I was only still going through the tutorial, but I really loved the look of it. But I was struggling with it a bit, to be honest. I wasn't getting the feel of how to maneuver around to look at the action, and I found that a bit annoying. So I did want to have another look at that one. Now, Darren Burnett saying Kingdom, Dungeon and Hero, have a look. Yeah, I've got that one. Actually, I got that one during the week from the developer. But again, this week is going to be a hard one for me to do anything other than the ones we've been talking about. So I do want to have a look at that one. The thing I'm not keen about with that one, and I haven't played much of Kingdom, Dungeon and Hero, is that it doesn't seem to have tactical battles. And I do like tactical battles. Matthew's got the pointing up, which I'm not sure if you're talking about Kingdom, Dungeon and Hero. I know a lot of people who play it say it's really, really cool. Hugh David saying, I'm looking forward to the new content in Primal Fury for Age of Wonders 4. Such a terrific game. I'm enjoying it immensely. It's an incredible game and just getting better and better. So Guy Bellaby saying, you started a series on your extra channel. Why did that stop? The extra channel doesn't earn me any money, to be honest. And to be honest, my actual day job has really, really suffered over the last 12 months. So I've got to look at YouTube more of as a business as much as anything now. Unfortunately, I used to only ever look at it as a hobby, but I now need to try to make money for me. And so I now have to sort of I hate saying that, but I have to now start looking at the algorithms a bit. I still won't prioritize that over content, if that makes sense. I still will play things that aren't popular, but I do have to look at what harms the channel, and things like my extra channel is not monetized. So if I put anything on the extra channel, it means that I then have to take time either from doing Twitch live streams, which I do get paid a little bit for, and it's like, you know, on my normal Twitch channel, or YouTube stuff, which again, I'm sort of erring on the side of trying to generate a bit of income, if that makes sense. So yeah, it's been a tough 12 months actually, just from our from the actual normal work perspective, which I don't like sort of I'm not crying poor or anything like that. It's just I have to look at YouTube in a different way, unfortunately, at this stage. Hopefully, it'll go back where I can actually sort of then generate more income and then not have to do what I sort of have to do at the moment with it. And so what I am looking at when I look at videos, if I'm not getting the views on them, if it's not generating the income for me, I just basically stop doing them at that stage. I hope that makes sense. Anyway, that's the reasoning. So Cecil say, yep, I like the new stuff, looks interesting, and they also said they were going to add 4 new mounts, and it looks like a lot more than 4. They did add new, like they've got mammoths, elephants, tigers, I think, or lions. I forget what they are. There's new ones, and then additions of other older ones, because I think the bears were there before. They may have added more bears, but I can't remember. Kurosami saying so many good games out, don't know which one to play. Yeah, exactly. It's this month is monstrous for the games. Yep, so Korosami's saying, I'm a bit worried about Homeworld 3. It comes down to the campaign and if it's good. The game looks good. It certainly looks good, but I did struggle a little bit trying to get my head around the tutorial. Okay, they've made okay, there we go. So Silvercall's saying they've made a complete Horlicks out of the Homeworld 3 controls. That's what I'm finding. I'm struggling with it because it's not intuitive. It would mean you'd have to play the game an awful lot to be able to just pick it up and keep on playing. And so Blackpool saying demo is very good. Could change till it comes out. Yeah. So the demo. Say Radigar saying that the demo made me unwishlist the game. Wow. So as someone who loved their first two games and still plays them, wow. Okay, that's pretty big actually. And so did also enjoy the demo of Pacific Drive. A lot of people have said that about Pacific Drive. I haven't played it. And Roger's in saying, but with Millennia, it's all about the ages, and you hate ages. I don't like ages. Yeah, I don't hate them, but I just don't love them. You know, like it's sort of one of these things. I prefer to play something more contained, where you don't actually go through different ages. It's a very contrived thing for me. I just don't like it. But I do like the idea of Millennia. What they've done is interesting. Kurosami is saying it didn't feel like Homeworld 3 for me, but it was just the war game mode. Maybe the campaign will be better. Yeah, I've got no idea. And was saying I heard pasting Obama's face in the thumbnail earns you extra views. There we go. It's funny, the Homeworld video that I put up a couple of weeks ago, sorry, the Headquarters video, not Homeworld. The Headquarters video really did very, very well for me, and I don't know why. I haven't looked at the analytics for that one. But that one did 10 times better than my standard videos, which is interesting. So I'm not sure what went on with that one. That was only a demo. That times two, yeah, it looks nice. Look back in the VOD. I'm not sure what that one was. Anyway, that's okay. Matthew's saying, Daz, thank you for the Dominion 6 tutorial videos. They've been helping me a lot to getting to grips with the game as a new player. I've still got more to make, but I just haven't got back to that yet. I've sort of had the flu for probably the last 6 weeks, and it's actually knocked me around a bit. And I've just I'm just not thinking straight. I'm starting to feel better now, but it's actually been a long time, which has not been good. Yep. So Blackpool is saying Age of Wonders 4 Primal Fury price is 21 British pounds. That's high. I didn't think it was going to be that high, to be honest. I mean, British pounds are there's more. That's a higher rate than the US dollar as well, isn't it? So maybe Primal Fury is more than what we thought. ZXM is saying everybody get more income is more hoodies and merch. Yeah, I've got to start doing some more graphics actually and do some more of that. I haven't done any new stuff for a long time actually. Waiting for a good season pass deal for Age of Wonders 4 now. Yes. So when will you play Age of Halflings, an epic story? Look, I'm happy to do it. You know, like I actually like Halflings in the new Age of Wonders 4, and with them, in essence, you could actually play them quite effectively in the new Fae, like as Fae creatures. That would actually be quite thematic. I would actually do that. So yep, so it's World War II, so it always gets some views. There we go. It's funny though, like if I play Combat Mission, I get very, very limited views. So people aren't interested in Combat Mission, even though I love it. So yeah, it's just funny. Again, I hate having to pick and choose the games like this. As well as topless, says Connie. Anyway, that's what we're going to look at. We're going to look at, there's another game that was mentioned. I'll just scroll back up and see if I can find it. Yeah, it's funny. Like with making money out of YouTube and stuff, there was I shouldn't say it, but I got offered a casino actually wanted to sponsor a series of videos, and I had to say no. I'm not, like, even though it would be great to get the money from it. Oh, God, I can't find it in the chat. It was I'm really cautious about, like, you know, what sort of I'll only take on sponsorship of things that I actually do, believe in, and that was not one that I believed in. I can't find Cube Chaos. Okay, let's try that. Cube Chaos. Did we do this the other day? Complex strategy roguelite about placing units to create giant armies, factories, combos, etc. Okay, so this came out a little while ago. It's still early access. Have a look and see. I'm going to have to turn the sound off. if there's any music, I'll turn it off. Nope, no music. All right, so far so good. I actually do like these sort of games, to be honest. I've got no idea what's going on, but I like the look of it. I'll have to contact the devs for this one. Looks interesting, actually. It does look interesting. How many videos? Just only the one video. Now it's very 94%. Wow, that's actually really high. That's really high. I'm going to jot that one down because that one does look good. What was it? It was Cube Chaos. Yeah, I'll make contact with the devs about that one. So it does look good, and it looks like there's a fair few people are talking about it. It shows promise. There's a few negatives. Brilliant game, yeah, blah blah blah. Okay, I'll chase that one up actually. So what did we get up to? Wonder how well a fake culture would work. It's well, again, they've got everything sort of structured around it. It actually is good. I can say that. There's one aspect about it I don't like, which this is Age of Wonders again. They've taken up. I read this ages ago. They're going through a series of, they want the look of it to evolve like seasons, and so they're using different colour schemes. I don't know if this is what's happening in this latest version, but I find that they're now into the autumn phase, and it's actually made the colours more muted, and I quite like the bright colours. So I'm actually, I don't know if I'm just, from what I've played, it's just a little bit dark from the areas that I've actually been playing, but it's not as bright and lively as what I'm used to. But that's just a very minor thing. Yeah, so we've got Outcast, New Beginnings also looks good. Now, did we see that one? So many games, isn't there? Outcast, New Beginnings. So we'll just get rid of that one. That's a bit too run and gun for me, I think. So I might just move on past that one. Where else we go? Prison Architect 2. I won't go there. I've got to start to wind up things up now. But it's good to hear we aren't getting Raid Shadow Legends sponsored to content. Well, that's actually I get offered that all the time as well. And again, I'm just thinking I get offered a fair few things as paid sponsorship, including things like Raid and stuff like that. But I just don't like. It's not what I play. I have got a couple on the boil actually, which I'm looking forward to seeing if they come to fruition, because the sponsorship is great. Like I really do like it a lot, because it does mean that it basically pays for the the time to basically put the videos together, and if they're games that I like, and again that's been the thing. It's always got to be a game that I like. Otherwise, I don't take the sponsorship on. But there's a few games actually in the works that I'm really looking forward to as well. That may have some sponsorship attached to them, which would be good. But it's sort of, unfortunately, the standard sort of mobile type ones. You can get them, you can pick them up all over the place. But I know that, again, that would kill my channel if I started putting that sort of content out. So anyway, I don't partake in that. There's a lot of them out there as well. That I get approached probably once every couple of days with sponsorship deals, but they typically are things like either crypto stuff or gambling or something like that, which I just can't do, or won't do anyway. Sev is saying, where were you talking about? Saying reminds me a bit of the Airship game. It doesn't look as good as the Airship. Airships is an incredibly good game. So that's it is called Airships. Connie's saying, you would rather sit through the 30-second half-assed Shadow Raid thing than miss out on turn-based procedural topless Shadow Empire gameplay. Well, see, if it was just a call-out, I've actually I've been looking for sponsorship for these ChatTactic sessions, because I'm happy to do like a, depending on the product, but I'm happy to do like a 30-second read sometime probably at the start and halfway through the ChatTactic sessions, and just have that whatever logo it is on the screen, because that would be good. I'd be happy with that. But to do full videos on gambling is not something that I would be wanting to do, and I don't think I'd be wanting to have gambling. I don't think I'd want to do that on the main channel. I just know how much damage it does to families and things, with those sorts of things. So it's sort of one of those things, like morally or ethically, I think I would struggle with promoting it. So Topless Shadow Empire stream. Empire stream is an interesting idea, says Renterasu. Okay, so name drop sponsor block before you start taking them. So yeah, it's there is well, I am putting it. I've approached a few different companies, with an idea just to see if they do want it, because it would be on the screen for like a few hours, a couple of hours a week basically, which should be good value for some people anyway. Looking forward to Galactic Care, says Blackpool. Maybe a second channel, Daz Deals, for sponsored videos. But then, see, it's only the value of the YouTube channel is the reason that they want it. So, and the Twitch channel as well. The Twitch channel is now becoming big enough that it's viable for sponsors to make value out of that, which is good. If you decide to go to Kick, I would understand gambling sponsors. Yes. Yeah, well, I've signed up for Kick, but I've never done anything over on Kick, because again, that was I like the idea of them not curating your content the way that YouTube does. Anyway, let's go. I think we've done everything. I feel like there's a lot of games that I just haven't actually covered. Maybe what we'll do is we'll just go back out, and I'll just open up and just run through the games that are being mentioned in my actual Steam area. Let's go back to the libraries. Yeah, so Niemeyer, I've actually just did a video on that one a few hours ago, I've just released it. So this is only just released today. So actually I'll do that on the other channel. Sorry, on the bigger screen. I was really impressed with this, I've got to say. So it only just released. It's a bit cheap at the moment. Very simple. So there's different sorts of combat and things. It's got a nice progression. It's all procedural. Very, very quick tactical battles. So you're playing basically as a necromancer. But the battles take maybe 10 minutes each. Anyway, we won't play much more, but it's I was impressed with this game, I've got to say. That's only just came out basically today. I don't think is there anyone that's written any, no one's written any reviews yet. Well, I would say that's probably about a 75-80% for me, in terms of the rating. If I was giving it a rating, I do like it, and it was a game that I could happily play for an extended period. But you could pick it up for 10 minutes and just play it in 10 minutes. So it wouldn't take very long to play that one. Let's go back to Steam. Rule the Waves 3. Oh, I didn't mention this actually. There's a light and heavy cruisers contest which I'm actually one of the judges on, which is coming up. Now, this was hello admirals, commodores, captains, and every other kind of master and commander. So we're launching a second ship design contest for Rule the Waves 3. Now, it's already closed, so there's no one else can actually go into it. But every person entering the contest and making a valid submission receive a Matrix Store coupon worth $15. The contest winners. I didn't know when the closing date was, and it closed a couple of weeks ago. And unfortunately, I didn't have. I forgot to mention it on my ChatTactic session, because it's a good way if you do like Matrix games just to put it, like if you've got the game. Actually, you need the game, I guess, before you could do it. The contest winners will also receive a voucher worth $30. For those of you who are in the previous contest, we'll have some minor revisions to the rules. And so the contest rules basically submit a picture of your ship along with its guns page and additional armaments page. It's a great game. I was streaming this morning actually on the Slytherin channel. This is why I couldn't do this stream at my normal time. But it's a very, very cool game. Like a very cool game. It just looks like a spreadsheet. That's the only problem with it. So it just goes through the contest rules back into here. So we've got and then we've got, essentially it was myself, Drakenafel. If you don't know Drakenafel, but you're into any sort of naval history at all, look him up. His channel is incredible. I love watching his videos. They're very, very involved. He goes into such minor components, but goes into such massive detail about things, and you just really get a really good feel for how important technology was through different eras of ships. So Drakenafel is really, really cool. So that is look at his channel, and then Tortuga Power as well. And Tortuga does a lot of Rule the Waves 3 content, and also does a lot of other sorts of content as well. So Tortuga's channel is definitely worth watching. He also does a lot of Dominions. I don't know if he's done much Dominions yet for the new version, but he does a lot of similar sorts of games as well. And a really nice guy. So I've known Tortuga for many years, and we get on really quite well. Yeah, saying Drac with a heart there. Yeah, Drac's really, really quite exceptional. His videos as historical videos are just unbelievably good. So anyway, that's going to be done on the. It did close on the 12th. I knew I missed it to say, hey, if you got the game, you might want to grab it. Also, I think at the time it's a little bit more expensive than that to go back into it. I forget how much it does cost. Actually, that's all just the news. Let's go to the store page. Yeah, look, you would have got a bit of, even if you had have bought the game and got it, you would have got it $15 off basically, I guess, if you had gone into it. But it is that's coming this week, and so I've done all my judging. I haven't seen the what the others have done yet, like Drac or Tortuga, so I don't know who they've chosen for their winners. But there was a lot of entries. God, how many would there have been? Probably between 80 and 100 entries, I guess, that we had to look through to sort of evaluate, whether just how good the designs were and where they sat, etc. Yeah, so Cassina's saying $40 if I recall. There we go. Yeah, so it's but it's a really, really cool game. It looks like Aurora 4X. It plays better than Aurora 4X in terms of what it does do, and then it does actually have a graphical interface for the battles. And it was funny when I was playing this morning. I had to stop just before an actual battle finished, and I played for another 5 minutes after I stopped recording to see what the results were. And I sort of wish I had have sped things up a little bit to get to the end of it while I was playing, because again, it was cool to see the actual reports that came at the end of the battle. It was it's a very, very good game. It's actually, you're saying almost need a dark mode to be able to keep playing Rule the Waves 3 set. Yeah, I agree 100%. 100%. It does need that. Tell me later when I win so I think you meant win Marble Run. So I'm going to be doing that one very, very soon. We're just going to go through these. So I'm going to find all sorts of things in through here. There's Xenonauts 2, major update released today. We've spoken about that one. Stellaris has always got information. Terraria, won't worry about that one so much. Hex of Steel, I don't know what this drawing tools. That's interesting. I haven't played that for a long time. That was a good game actually. Terminator Dark Date Defiance. So this is so we spoke about that one. So it looks like they've got some sponsored content coming out. They've got Dominion 6 to released 6.07. When was that? They keep on adding more and more stuff to it. They're great game, of course, that one. Millennia, this was, they've got the demo there, but they did extend that a week, so it may still be open. I can't remember. We've had a look at that one. This is the teaser trailer for Terminator. We've done that one. Galciv 4. Now, this is actually, this is 2.31. which came out just this week as well, and they had another update today, I think, as well. So a lot of stability issues. I can't wait, absolutely can't wait for the next DLC to launch, the Warlords DLC. Really looking forward to that one. Movement of fighters has been refined to reduce rubber banding effects in issue with predictive targeting. The thing I don't like about the battles is that the vision and the actual results aren't coordinated. So you get like it's actually off by a fair amount. So I hope that they fix that at some point. Anyway, we won't go through all of that. There's Millennia again. Community question and answers. Rimworld. Medieval Dynasty bundle. Okay, nothing much there. Battle Sector. So that was the Tower Map Editor update around. The map editor I didn't play with. I did mean to have a look to see how many curated maps there were. I wonder if that's actually there. You know, like it's do they have a workshop? I think it's actually not it's not done in workshop. Actually, I won't have a look at that. I was thinking that because if they do, they don't use workshop. They've got their own system for it. Let's just go back across again. Yep, that's out now. And then, Imperium's Greek Wars as well. That released this week as well. So we did talk about that one last week, but that's actually now out. And I do want to do a video on that, but I'm not sure when I'll get to it. And I did do a video on Moonbreaker as well, which has just come out. It's hit version 1.0. That's pretty cool, actually, this game. I know that you guys have been mentioning that a lot. And that really has been, that's a really, really good game. Again, I wish I could play more of it, but I just don't have the time to get back to it. Not for a while anyway. But I did really enjoy playing that one. Solium Infernum we've spoken about. In the games that I've been playing recently, Namira, as I say, very happy and pleasantly surprised with that one. Dungeon Beneath, I did load that one in because they've got a big update that's just come out this week. But I haven't actually played it for a while, so I can't really comment on that one. That uses the same graphic pack as Keeper RL. And there's Keeper RL right there, which has also just come out this week. So incredible game, Keeper RL. So there's so much coming out. White Sands is a game that I did a video on, and I may have been a bit too scathing on the game, but it's not, the user interface needs a lot of work, but the premise of the game is really, really solid. So I'm looking forward to seeing what this game does over the coming weeks and months. I think it's going to end up being quite a good game. I know there was a lot of comments and a lot of downvotes in the video that I did, but I haven't read the comments at this point to see what the perceived issue was. What I tend to find is that when I do something where I'm a bit critical on a game, I do get a lot of negativity coming back. And I don't want to just wipe it off as being fanboys. You know what I mean? Like I know that there is a component of that, and I've got other games in mind where when I'm critical, I'll often get not attacked, but I get negative comments by people, and I'm not going to apologise for being critical about a game, because if it helps make the game better, I think that's important. And most devs I've had. Only maybe on one hand I could sort of count the devs who have actually had a problem with me being a bit more critical of their games, because at the end of the day, if it's stuff that does help the game get better, then I see myself as a tester as much as anything when I'm playing the games, particularly if I'm playing them a bit early. So anyway, that's sort of where we are. So Rob was saying, have you checked out Kingdom Dungeon and Hero? I do actually have it on my list, but I haven't got to it yet. It's right there. So I've got it sort of, there's Nemo, which I just did this morning. But it is there for me to play. I did open it up, but I haven't actually played much of it. So approach the Marble Run developers for sponsorship. Look, that's just a game, basically. So Roger's saying, I like Tortugas and Historical Gamers podcast, single malt strategy. Yeah, it's good, actually. They're good guys, I've got to say. I do. Most of the people that I can't think of any that are in the doing strategy gaming that aren't good to deal with. I mean, I can't think of a single person. Which is sort of unusual. Like you tend to, like there's no egos out of anyone that sort of does these sorts of streams and this sort of content. So it's it's a good community. It's a good community that we all have, which is great. So okay, Guy Bell will be saying the Zephon demo is only out for a limited time as well until February the 19th. Well, that was yesterday, wasn't it? Yeah, so that's today basically. So the Zephon demo is got very limited time again now. I did cover that one fairly thoroughly over the last couple of weeks. So Connie's saying, can you ask Draft NFL why gun calibers were never the topic of naval treaties, unlike overall tonnage? Asking for a friend. Okay, I'll probably forget by the time we sit down, and also we'll be talking about the actual things. But you should actually maybe you should, I don't know how you get that across. If I remember, I'll actually write an email to them and just I'll try to remember and actually sort of see if I can cover that, get that one covered. So but because I'm getting towards the end, so I should be able to remember to do that. So hopefully I'll remember to do that one. But yeah, because his knowledge is unbelievable. It's just incredible, and it is one of those things where no matter what he says, you're just there sort of thinking, oh wow, that's really, really interesting. You know, like I find it interesting anyway. But no, his knowledge is just second to none. It's really incredible. Right, well, I think we might just do the marble run. What we'll do is I'll just go and get that one set up. Let's go back into here, get Nightbot, do the login. Oh, we do have a giveaway. Sorry, I do have a giveaway today. It's a thank you to Greg, who actually was a viewer who essentially had some codes that he couldn't he couldn't use himself, and so I've got this one here is Stellaris, the first contact story pack. So that's the first contact story pack for Stellaris is the giveaway for today. It's a DLC for Stellaris, and so we'll get this one in today. We'll just go back into the giveaways, and keyword is going to be contact. So if you can just type in the word contact in the chat, I'll just get myself another drink of water, and when I come back, we'll run the marble run. So we'll then sort of get that one going there. So Connie's saying, oh my God, I talk too much. That's because battle mode must be asleep or something. It's normally battle mode up there. But he must be, it's too late. It's too late for him, I think. So yeah, it's saying battleship guns were restricted to that. Only 7 ships could have 16-inch guns. Okay, or is that not caliber? Yeah, the 16 inch is the caliber. Yeah, that's the caliber. So it's sort of, there we go. I'll just grab myself a drink of water. Be right back. Let's get this all set up. And I still forgot to do the scoring. I was going to change the scoring on Marble Run, but I won't do it today. I'll try to remember to do it afterwards. So people are saying it's way past bedtime here. Yeah, I know. I do apologise for having to do this a bit later than my normal time. I know it's probably better for the US viewers. Maybe some Australians are watching now because it's a bit later in the day than my normal time. But I know it's not very good for Europe, and that's usually where at the time when I'm doing this, that's predominantly when I'm getting those sort of views from. Yeah, I don't plan on doing it this regularly. I will go back to the normal time. I may tweak it around an hour or so every so often just to see how things go. Okay, so we're just going to quit out of that one. We're going to go across to race. I'll just get it set up, and we're just going to go to Grand Prix and 4 maps. Now we had an incredible win. Was it last week or the week before? An amazing win. I did actually write it down because it's the we had Elephant Man scored 37 points. He got 3 wins and a third out of the 4. No one's ever going to beat that. Like that's we'll be changing the points, so there will be higher scores. But 3 wins and a third out of the 4 races. Unbelievable. Anyway, let's go and get everything set up. So if I just go back into race settings, just go and grab the list, sorry. Where one here. Okay, and I've got it all ready to go. Normally I'm sort of stuffing around trying to figure things out. How many have we got? 25. Okay, that's pretty cool for an unusual time. And we'll just go to find and replace. Just going to place that one in there. Replace all. Now, the last one that was there, is Lucia in there? Lucia's in there. Rocklight. Yep. The last one was Connie. Yep, okay. All right, so let's go with that one. So we'll just go and save that. 25 is the number. And I'm just going to add names. We'll clear the list. And we'll open up marble names. Finish. And 25. And bots. Okay, so good luck, everyone. Good luck. Oh, Voxter. Voxter, you're just in time. And Grob. Okay, so that's 7. 27. Race settings. Add names. Oh, I shouldn't do this, should I? It's all fun and games. So we've got 2 of them I have to add in. So we've got, there's always late entries. There always are. It's all good, it's all good. And we've got Grob as well. Grob 503. 503. And who else have we got? We've got Sev82 as well. Okay. Okay, keep on adding them. 82. Got anyone else? Is that it? There we go. So we'll finish that one off. We've got 28. So good luck, guys. All right. No one else. I was waiting for whatever's going to happen. Now we're going to just have a quick start with this one through here. So we don't know what maps are going to come up. And again, I'm going to have to do the points. I might just jot that one down actually. Marble points. So hopefully next week I'll have that one sorted out. So we end up with getting, if you finish, you're going to get a point. So can I enter my pet goldfish? Sushi, says Guy Bellaby. No, you can't. Let's get it started. Good luck, everyone. Vor's Lab. Haven't played this with this one before. This one looks interesting. It's got a full-on introduction. Okay, here we go. So start the race. Good luck. So heating the elements. Oh, it's actually pulling them all back. Where's it sending them? Oh, wow, this is cool, isn't it? This is very intricate. Okay, who's the first one out? Grob is the first one out. No one's actually missed so far. Oh, there they go, straight through. Straight through. We've got Hugh David, I think, out in front of the others. Yeah, it's Hugh David. Oh, no, a few of the others coming the other way. Who's going to be the first one out of this other side? No, here they come. Here they come. It's Castanar. No, Grob out in front again. Matthew coming back. Guy Bellaby, Hugh David. Now they're going through the hot, and oh, a few have missed. A lot have missed. We've still got Guy Bellaby out in front. Grob was like he was one of the first ones to lose the with the heat. Guy Bellaby, Hugh David, Max, Mad Hat, Raven Death, CB, Sev, Rocklight. So there's a fair few. Guy Bellaby, the first one into this area as well. Is this hot? Is this heated? Whoa! Oh no! Did you make it? Yeah, a few of you. I think everyone did make it. So we've got this machine that's sort of scooting everyone away. So back through here, Guy Bellaby's still the first one out. Now, who's going to miss this? Guy Bellaby made it through and through into the next stage. The others are making it through as well. No one's actually dropped off yet. Back in through there. So Guy Bellaby's still actually in that side. Bashi made it through. He actually jumped ahead. Rentarusi's gone. But everyone else is doing fairly well. CB has now taken the lead. And Bashi coming in. So Bashi actually jumped ahead. Like it was supposed to drop off the side, but didn't. Oh, CB's gone. Bashi has made it through. He's got the big lead here. Will he make it through this bit of it? No, Hugh David straight through. And is the winner. Guy Bellaby coming back in. Connie coming back third. Where the hell is Bashi? Bashi got killed in the end. Oh, great. What a great game this is. I do love the marble run. It's good fun. Okay, so we've got still got a couple of finishes required. So Urasok coming in for the ninth place. That's all the points gone. Miguel and Tiny Mutant Squid. This is what I mean. Like if you finish, you should get points. It should be 1 point, and then so I'm going to have to read. That's a good map. That is a good map. Who are we still waiting on? Oh, there we go. Hugh David is the first one through. Great. All right, so that's the final results. So there's your points system. If we go across into Grand Prix, so 10 points for Hugh, 8 for Guy Bellaby, Connie 7, Max 6, Matt Hat Ravendest 5, Fun Guy 4, Voxter 3, Yonan 2, and Urasok 1, with a few other finishes, but a lot did not finish as well. All right, let's go back to the next race. Next map is Eye of the Storm. I think we've had this one before. Okay, good luck. Here we go. Who's going to be the first one through the middle? In they go. And around. No one's dropped through yet. I think Guy Bellaby was pretty close. Yep, Rob Davis straight through. Grob, Miguel, Matthew. Here they come into these different areas. Now this is going to be dangerous when they hit this bottom area. So let's just have a look and see what happens. Can they avoid being thrown off? Miguel straight through. Yonan's okay. Actually, no one's dropping off there. I thought that was going to be one of the dangerous areas. Yeah, no one's. I don't think we've lost anyone yet. Miguel is the first one into this central area. This is going to be the interesting one. We'll watch with interest. So Miguel is the first one to try to make it through the Eye of the Storm. And no. Miguel is gone. Who's going to make it through? Actually, a few of you have made it. Sev's gone. Foxter's gone. ZXM is gone. Urasok is gone. Let's have a look at the others. So it's, oh, what a cool map again. God, it's good. Now, Connie is way out in front now. Should win it. Should win it from here. And so coming in. Yep, Connie's in there. Connie wins. Radigar. Yonan actually dropped off. Blackpool. No, Rob has just stolen third place from Blackpool. Matthew coming through. Max, Antonio, Guy Bellaby, Roger, and Tenru. So there we go. So we've got a different set of leaders from this particular race. So this one will be a bit. We've got a few others coming back in the other way. Now they're probably going to get. They may not make it. I don't think they're going to get through. I think the game is going to catch up with them before they get to the end. Fun Guy made it. Not that it matters that much. There's no points left for grabs. Oh, Castanar is gone. No, Bashi is going to just make it, I think. Yep. All right. Well done. So well done, Connie. View the results. Let's have a look and see what's happening with the Grand Prix. So 17 points, actually. Connie's now got way out in the lead. So 17 points. We've got 10 points with Max, 10 points with Guy Bellaby there as well. And then Hugh David got 10 points. So there's a few on 10, but Connie did very, very well in that one as well. So Hugh David, the winner of the previous game. All right, next map. Marble Diner. So Connie is a long, long way out in front. long way out in front. Start the race. Here we go. See who's going to come next. Oh, Blackpool, Punk Events. Straight out, Mad Hat, Roger, Guy Bellaby, Fun Guy getting stuck. Actually, Mad Hat's a little bit further out in front. That's a Rogue one out through there. Max out in front of Lucia, and Mad Hat Raven just coming in next. Let's have a look at these. I might just go and play this one from the third place and just see what actually, we'll just follow it along. Oh, Popcorn, there we go. A big lead, sort of kicking in against, there we go. Max is miles ahead. I know, Mad Hat Raven Desk has now just dropped and Max has gone past. A lot of them have gone past. Looks a bit dangerous in through here. Let's just go and grab a few of the other ones now and just follow them in. Oh, Miguel's gone. He's dropped off the side. I don't know what's happening here. There's a lot of bouncing going on inside here. Tiny Mutant Squid looks to be the first one out. Here they come. Here they come. And straight through. So Tiny Mutant Squid out in front. No one else has dropped off yet. But who knows? Who knows? It looks dangerous, whatever's up front here. I don't know if we're following Antonio. We may be. All right, they're straight through. No one else has dropped off at the top there. Yeah, we're following Antonio, coming in second at this stage. Or is it Lucia that we're following? Maybe it's Lucia. It must be Lucia, who's coming in the lead. No one else has dropped off. We only had the one death. Anyway, we're getting towards the end here. Well, I don't... Actually, Lucia's got to somehow get through here. Matthew may take the lead here. Let's have a look and see who comes out. Max has taken the lead. And so Max wins the event, followed by Matthew, followed by Sev. Mad Hat Raven Desk still stuck in the middle there. Lucia's coming through, but is only going to get a 6th place. Was miles out in front. There's all the points gone. And we've still got a few others coming through. So still a lot of them way at the top here. And unfortunately they're not going to make it. So Bashy and Rob. That once that line hits them, that's the end of it. So I think a lot of these are going to end up getting gobbled up by the map itself. Oh, there goes Roger. He's gone. And a few more are finishing. Here we go. Rob is going to get gobbled up here. I don't think any of these. I think that Rocklight may make it through, maybe not. Yep, it's just gobbling up the others as it comes through. Oh, there we go. Yep, they've made it through. Okay, so Max Rebo has got the win here. So we will review the final results. Let's have a look at the Grand Prix. Who can get there? So we've got, oh wow. So Max has now got 2 wins. So 20 points there. Connie is still out in front with another good finish there as well. So still got a fair way there. 23 points. There's only 3 points in it between you two. I don't know if anyone else can get close enough to win. We do actually have a 13 points in through there. So Matthew's not going to be able to overtake Connie, or could technically get even. But the others aren't really going to be much of a show, unfortunately. So so we've got Max and Connie in through there at the top there with 3 points separating them. Let's see how we go. The final map, Portal Alley. Connie's saying, this run is sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends. Okay, we've got Hugh David, Radigar, Yonan. Yeah, so this is fairly... Now, is that going to make it through cleanly? Nope. Castanar's gone. A lot of you have gone. You're hitting these portals and not making it. So this is going to sort people out. Rocklight's gone as well. Connie's still in the game. Max is gone, I think. No, Max is still in the game as well. So we've got yeah, a lot of people missing out now. So, yeah, Max and Connie are still in there. Max has now taken the lead from Connie. Remember, there's 3 points in it. He's got to get it's got to be at least, he's got to be ahead by at least 3. And he is at the moment, there's not very many left. Connie and Max are very close. This is really close. Depending on what happens here, Fun Guy is just gone. Max needs people in the game. He needs people to finish the game because he's got to get. He's got to win it, or yeah. Oh, and he has won it. My God! And Connie's fallen off. I think Max, you've got it. Yeah, that was a crazy finish. I don't know how you got through. You came straight through. You got accelerated through, and didn't get stuck. Yeah, Bashy's gone. Here comes Matthew. Finally gets second place. There's only one other player in it. There's only Hugh David left. Wow, what a finish. What a finish. He's stuck there. Oh my God, that was a crazy result. That was awesome. Okay, see the final results in through there. It's only 3 finishes. That was really, really cool. What a comeback. Because Max, you were coming back 6th, I think, before you got that acceleration to get the finish there. That was really cool finish. Really cool. You went straight over the top of all of those things slowing you down, and it went straight into the bucket. And I'm pretty sure that let's just go to the final. Let's just finish the Grand Prix and just see who got the third. I'm pretty sure that Connie got second with Max. So Matthew came in third. Connie came in second, and Max, what a finish to win the marble. I didn't think you had a hope in hell. Even at the end there, I thought, if the way that you got thrown forward, I thought you're going to be out of the game at that point. But you came back incredibly well. And Connie, it was very, very close at the end there. But in the end, I mean, Max does pick up a lot of points there. The 10 points, that was brutal. Says Sorbical. It was a brutal race. It was a great race to finish on. So there we go, 30 points in the end, with Connie coming in at 23. 2 wins from Max, and in Matthew 21. So even Matthew actually got there towards the end. Very, very cool. Okay, who are the ones with 0 points? There's a fair few of you, actually. So Tiny Mutant Squid, Grob, Rocklight, Miguel, Castanar, Bashi, CB, and Tenru all had 0 points at the end of it. Bad luck, guys. Bad luck. We had a few on 1 point. But that was a great finish. And it's funny because 37 is the record that we have. That's 30 points is good. That's a good result. Man, that was great. That was awesome. So anyway, guys, I'm going to leave it there. Max, if you could email me, and I'll just pop my email address in the chat at DazTactic.com. I will send you then the DLC key, so you can actually then install that one there. So Connie's saying, God, that was exciting, especially after last week. Yes, last week it was a runaway win, so we knew who was going to win it by the time we got to the last race. To be honest, I really thought that Connie, even halfway through there, Max had to beat Connie by at least 3 places, and Connie ended up not finishing the race, but that was really, really touch and go there for so long. Very, very cool. Max is saying price to Connie, please. Okay, so you've already got that particular DLC. You can if you're happy to do that. So Connie's saying no thanks. No, if you you won that. That was a great finish, Max. So you do deserve it. You deserve the accolades. You deserve the thing there, and you do need to have a good competitor to come in second place there. So well done. That was a really exciting race, really exciting finish. So Sever's saying 8th spot finish, only 1 race, not horrible. I will change it, but yeah, if you, Max, if you can email me, that'd be great, and then I will get the point out to you. But you won it fair and square. You won it more than fair and square. That was actually a really exciting finish. I do love those finishes. I know that we've got to have losers in the game, but that was really, really cool. Thoroughly enjoyed it, guys. Thoroughly enjoyed it. So I will actually change the points for that one. That was a really exciting race yet again. It's funny how many of these end up being really quite interesting to watch. I do enjoy these. Anyway, guys, going to leave it there. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you, well, next week if you're only watching the Chat Tactics. I'll be back on Twitch again tomorrow. Don't know if we'll be playing Distant Worlds 2 or Terminator. Probably Terminator at this stage. I'll see how I feel when I start playing. I am really into the Distant Worlds 2 game that I've been playing at the moment. That's been really, really fun to play. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there. And Solium Infernum. Nibbletour is saying wanted to hear it, Solium Infernum. We went through a lot of detail with that one. I'm not allowed to show it for another 3 days yet. I will be streaming that on my Twitch channel as soon as it becomes available, and I will also be making video content about that. I'll start recording that over the next couple of days so that that's ready to go. I'm under embargo with Solium Infernum, but we did a lot of content early on. I think it was the third game that we did in this session, so it was probably would have been an hour into the actual session. We would have started about an hour in with Solium Infernum, and we talked a lot about the differences between the old version and this new version. But there's a lot I can't say about Solium Infernum, although I probably said more than what I was allowed to, which I tend to do, unfortunately. Anyway, guys, going to leave it there. Thanks for watching.